Yo, and
Hello.
we're back. Hey, how's it going, Grae?
Good, good. What about you?
Good. All right. All right, man. So, I just got finished watching both The Mandalorian and The Last of Us. Like I literally just finished it like an hour, like within 2 hours ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, let's see. But anyways, all right. So, did did you actually get to watch? I didn't get to actually get to watch South Park this week.
Oh, no,
But
no,
did
no, no.
you?
I
Yeah,
didn't. Lot
we
slipped my mind.
yeah we can probably catch up on it like probably next time. But yeah, chat for everyone who is in chat, thank you guys so much. If you have already done so, like, share, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. But I believe next week, we're gonna try to stream, go live at about 6 p.m. Pacific Standard, 9 p.m. Eastern, and we're gonna be having, if things change, I'll let everyone know. Grae and I will update everyone in the on the Discord, or what's it called again, on the community tab on what's it called again? Yeah, the YouTube page. But we should be having Drunk 3PO on next Saturday. So yeah, we should be having Drunk 3PO on. We're going to be talking about just we're going to be talking about his book. For people who don't know who he is, and we just talk about him, sort of like more of an interview kind of thing, versus a sort of like what we usually do. We talk about like we talk about what's it called again? Pop culture, media, and it's that sort of leans into it. But we'll definitely be talking to him more about his book, the release date, and all that kind of stuff. I know he's been hammered throughout his emails and his Twitter account. He said that like he actually like muted all notifications. But all right, yeah, I'm actually super excited to have him on. It's crazy. Like for me, it feels pretty surreal to have him on. Do you feel the
Mhm.
same? Like having someone like of his caliber to be on our
Yeah,
tiny ass stream.
yeah. I wouldn't have thought otherwise. Like,
Mhm.
imagine, like, imagine last year's like we were so surprised that it was actually him. We're like, no, this has to be a troll account. It can't be him. It's like we're such a teeny tiny channel, and yeah,
Hey,
wow. Chris,
hey,
Krista
Krista,
Nova,
how's it
hi.
going?
Yeah,
Hi, hey, Krista. Yeah, Drunk 3PO sent me. Yo,
sent me.
thank you so much for
Yeah,
stopping by.
thank you,
But
thank
yeah,
you.
we should have like I said earlier, we should have Drunk 3PO on, I believe next Saturday. We're gonna try to aim at this time, around this time frame, so the East Coasters can actually tune in. But if it goes well, and if it's cool with Grae, we're gonna continue moving forward with the 6 p.m. time slot. But yeah, it's like 10 a.m. in your time zone, right?
Yeah, that's why it's so bright. You can see the window. It's ultra bright.
All right, cool. And I believe we do have daylight savings time probably the following day. So it will be, I think, 9 a.m. Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But if you want to move it back to like 7 p.m. on our time, so it'll be 10 p.m. your time. I mean, not 10 p.m. 10 a.m. We should be good. Should be good.
Okay,
All right.
okay.
All right, cool. All right. I actually, um I do want to talk about this Disney debuts race swap Tinkerbell thing. So
Mhm.
like you sent me, I think you sent me this like earlier this week, and like I guess you said that like a lot of people have been like getting their stuff like
Yeah, yeah. It's
monetized.
like yeah, Disney's going the extra mile this time because like their recent stuff are getting so much dislikes on YouTube. So
Mhm.
now with this one, this Peter Pan and Wendy, it's like there people are even I know even drunk 3POs content like it was getting disabled.
Mhm.
Kind of
Yeah,
like
that's what I
kind of
heard
like
too.
with kind of like my The Last of Us latest review. It got the comments got disabled, even though I didn't. It
Yeah.
it kind of looked like I was a snowflake because of that. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
also it's even worse with Jane Theory, I believe. It's like uh yeah, even though she kept trying to enable the comments, it's kept
Mhm.
going back to disabled. So Disney's cracking down on it because they're such panic mode. They're already trying to censor everyone just simply talking about it or just showing the probably just a short clip of the trailer because yeah, because everyone's hating on it and yeah, Disney's trying to okay, you need to quiet, please shut up about it. Then when you
Yeah.
check the other videos, it's fine. You can comment all you want. You can say what you want. But for this latest one, yeah, everything is disabled.
Yeah, the crazy thing is was I so what happened was I knew it was enabled. It's because I think it was I think I put in like please like, share, like and subscribe. I always put that. I always pin it, and then I went back with my personal account and it says comments disabled. I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like, what the hell's happening? So what I did was I went into the YouTube studio. I went down to the comments and it says, okay, I have to re-enable it. So I have to like boom, re-enable. After like maybe 15 to 30 minutes later, it gets disabled again. And then we actually got called out in one of our previous videos, like, hey, why are you turning off the comments, Snowflake? I'm like,
Yes.
what the fuck?
No,
So
no.
I went back and then what I did was instead of going to hold for, like hold comment for review or something, I said all comments. So once I switched it to all comments, it basically just stayed. And I'm like, okay, cool. Or it could be like that thing where like they don't want people talking shit about it because they're like super, super scared. Yeah. Booming Bob. Yeah, that went faster than Little Mermaid. I believe Little Mermaid had a lot of stuff happening too, right? Let me actually go to the actual YouTube channel of not the trailer. Peter. Yeah. I believe I watched it. I don't remember
Yeah,
actually like watching the whole thing, but I do remember. Oh my god, the like to dislike ratio is amazing.
Yeah, all of them, all like in IGN, even the media outlets, it's the same. It's all the same. It's not just the Disney one. It's all the same.
Oh wait, what happened? The comments are turned off. Wait, it was turned on yesterday. It was on yesterday. Okay, hold on. See, I already dumbed down it, but yeah, it was. So here's the thing. I have so here's the thing. Growing up Chinese, we're extremely poor and we like bootlegging shit. So my dad would buy like this VHS tape that has like I think like 4 to 6. I think it's about 6 hours worth of or 6 to 8 hours worth of content so you can record. So one tape had like Little Mermaid, Jungle Book, Peter Pan, Dumbo, and I think another film or something like that. But every time Peter Pan comes on, I always fall asleep because it's like the beginning. It's so like it puts me to sleep. To say the least.
Yeah,
But
I need to watch the old one again too, because like I don't even remember, but I did watch some recent videos who the Lost Boys are. Because I didn't even remember there's such thing. There was a group called the Lost Boys. That's how
yeah,
bad my memory is of Peter Pan. So I need to watch it again before
yeah.
we dive into this one, which is gonna come out soon.
So what happened was after I watched the trailer, I went to my wife. I'm like, guess what they're doing to Peter Pan? She's like, oh no, what do they do now? I was like, who's black now? That's what she said to me. All right, who's black? Yo, they can't stop. Yo, Disney ain't gonna stop, man. But so what happened was I was like Tinkerbell is black, and then she's like, okay, and then I'm like, and I think Peter Pan is like Indian.
Yeah, Indian.
And I was like, she was like, okay, and then I think sort of where she got upset was, and there are girls in the Lost Boys. She's like, what? And now she was like, aren't the Lost Boys supposed to be a bunch of these boys that are lost and they went off to this, they're in this land, and then the reason why Peter Pan is so like infatuated with Wendy is because she's a girl and she's older, right? So I'm pretty sure this is gonna be made for modern audiences, and it's the fact that it says and Wendy,
And
yo,
Wendy.
she's gonna be the main character.
Yeah. Some people are saying you might as well just name it Wendy.
Yeah,
you
but the
just
thing is,
remove Peter Pan already.
if you didn't have Peter Pan, like people wouldn't want to watch it, right? And but yeah, but I and then I saw the shorts, the short that you made with the our boys. So
Yeah, I went out of my way to make it less than 10 seconds and to just loop the part where it's so cringe, just so I can avoid the copyright, which I think it did.
Yeah, that's awful. All right, so let's go ahead and actually read this from Bounding in the Comics. Disney debuts race swap Tinkerbell, introduces female members of the Lost Boys in the first trailer for Peter Pan and Wendy live action remake. Oh no, man. The thing is that if you've ever gone to Disneyland, like if you have actually ever gone to Disneyland, this ride is always fucking packed. It's always a crap ton of people lining up, and I'm like, dude, this ride needs a fast pass. And then I know that China in Shanghai, they have actual like legit Peter Pan ride that actually looks really really good. I believe I've actually I've actually seen some footages of people going on the ride, and it looks really really cool. And it's just like, oh, what are they doing, man? It's like literally they have like there are three things here. First one is Disney's legitly running out of stuff to write. Right? They're like, what can we do? Right? And I think the whole thing, and I think South Park nailed it when they did the whole member berries thing. Like, remember Star Wars? Yeah, remember Chewbacca? Remember Tauntauns? Right? It's like, it's basically people just keep remembering things that like that can like spark a nostalgia kick, and all of a sudden their endorphins come. It's like, oh yeah, I remember watching this when I was a kid, and all of a sudden they have to go watch it. And I think that's what they're doing. And the second thing is, there's no other race from to switch to other than black. It's only you can only switch to black. You cannot switch to any other race. I'm
Yeah.
like I believe I actually saw a comment. I forgot who put it up, but it was a person who put it up on I think Twitter that said uh that said okay, and I think in their pronouns their bio they have pronouns, right, like they them or something. It's like yeah, look, we understand you're trying to race change, but like there are other races other than
A
black.
race in the world, exactly.
Yeah, but this is actually pretty funny. So coming as no surprise in an era when Disney has gone all in on bastardizing their original animated classics to their altar of contemporary revisionism, the first trailer of Peter Pan and Wendy has confirmed that Disney's upcoming live-action remake will feature a number of identity politics-based changes to the tale of the boy who couldn't grow up. All right. To put it short, the best Peter Pan movie of all time is Hook with Robin Williams. That's like absolutely like top tier in my opinion. Have
I'm
you
not
seen
sure.
Hook with Robin Williams?
Yeah, yeah. I'm not. Did I watch it? I'm not even sure. Okay, I probably need to watch it too. There goes
Yeah,
another part of the
it's
watch
good.
list.
They had what's it called again? I remember as
I'm
me watching as a kid because I like, and then I watched it as an adult. It's a little different. But watching as a kid, I'm like, yo, Rufio is a badass. You got Rufio with his sword. Rufio. Oh man, I used to watch that shit all the time, all the time. But yeah, if you haven't watched Hook, it's actually pretty good. I know it's one of the earlier ones. I think it got like really bad reviews on Rotten Tomatoes or something like that. Like the actual reviews are bad, but
why
people
though?
actually really enjoy the movie. Yeah. A self-described live-action reimagining of both author J.M. Barrie's original novel, The Little White Bird, wherein the flying fictional mischief maker was first introduced, and Disney's 1953 animated outing, Peter Pan and Wendy will retell the story of this is the actual keyword right here, right? Retell the story of Wendy Darling's first adventure to Neverland. Yeah, she's gonna be the main character. She's actually gonna be the one who like
Yeah.
saves everyone. There isn't going to be what's her name? Native American Tiger Lily. Tiger Lily is like that Native American one, the girl, and they're gonna remove all of that because it's gonna be they're gonna say, oh, this is super racist, and you know all the mermaids are gonna be like I don't know, trans mermaids or something, dudes or something. Yeah. But yeah, yeah, Nosmer, yeah, and Hook was my jam. Yeah, Hook is good. I haven't seen it in such a long time, but I do know I do remember it being really really good. But I do want to watch it again as an adult, like actual like grown up, like in my 30s. But yeah, I saw a clip of South Park today where Kyle gets surgery to turn. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Speaking of yeah, people who want to convert blacks to not whites to black people, like it's sort of like a race change. Yeah, they actually tackled this earlier on in South Park, right? And this also ties into like people who get surgery to change who they are, is because they're not happy with who they are as a person. And we will touch on that when we actually hit the Hersheys topic. We're gonna talk about the Hershey stuff. Debuting to the world at large March 1st, the premiere trailer for Disney's latest cash grab begins with young Wendy, portrayed by Black Widow actress Ever Anderson, washing up the shores of Neverland, visibly confused by her surroundings. Eventually, finding her bearings, Wendy is next seen charging up a nearby hill, ostensibly in search for help. However, rather than any sort of adult upon reaching its summit, the young girl instead encounters a group of raggedly dressed nomads. Yeah, and I remember even in Hook, like it was all boys, but it was actually really diverse. There's actually like Asians, blacks, whites, like Hispanics. They're all like there's a bunch of kids, and they're all they're all what's it called? Yeah, mixed races. Yeah, so it's so funny, but like we have to be even more
More
diverse, you
diverse.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is that like I think majority of these people who are actually wanting like more diversity, I feel like in my opinion, in my humble honest opinion, I think are white people, right? It's like, oh man, we there's so much white people in the industry already. Every character in Peter Pan, the cartoon were white, so we need to have more diversity. We need to have more of this, you know. And it's sort of like them white knighting, trying to speak on their behalf because they feel like the people who are oppressed don't have their own voices. Do you feel the same? Do you feel like a bunch of these people who are actually doing this are like people who are not the race who sort of got swapped to?
Yeah, sort of. Although, yeah, it kind of comes off as being racist a little bit, but I think so
Hmm.
because yes, most people just want to be entertained. It's like me. It's like, for example, I'm like, when was the last film I saw a Filipino Chinese in? I don't remember. I hardly remember. It's like,
Hmm.
if there is one, and it's most likely if there is one, it's probably a local show, and it's definitely not something that's in an international scale. And
Hmm.
I don't feel that there should be a race of me in any of the movies or games or books that I'm consuming. As long
Hmm.
as the story's good, the characters well written, the development is there, it's realistic, you can see the hero's journey of that character. That's all
Hmm.
I ever really need in once. Like I don't need that person to be a Filipino Chinese for me to be able to relate to what they're going through. So
Yeah.
yeah, I it's probably you're probably right. It's probably those people at Twitter who spend too much time on the internet, honestly.
Yeah, it's like, oh, when I see this Chinese girl over here, it's like, oh, yo, there's a Chinese
Chinese.
person now. Oh my god, this movie
Oh,
just
I
got
feel
so
so
much better.
represented.
Oh my voice can be heard now. uh, as Wendy begins to inquire the group's leader, are you the young boy in turn confirms that they are in fact the Lost Boys. Every last one of us adds a young female member of the group. Taking note to the last fact, Wendy then questions, but you're not all boys, only to be met with a dismissive response. So? Remove the group's black female member. Notably, the introduction of girls into the Lost Boys not only reeks and of yet another tired diversity and inclusion move, but also ironically undercuts the actual message of female empowerment that originally explained their absence. Yeah. So I told this to my wife, and she was like, "The thing is that these boys are all young. They don't want to grow up. They want to be a Toys R Us kid. So what happens is that they stay there. They never grow up, right? So the thing is that they lack the actual nurturing and the motherly figure that they need. So what happened? They're all like wild kids, and they did whatever they want. No manners. No, not completely uncivilized. And so what happened was the reason why Wendy was such a big deal was because when she got introduced into the group, the Lost Boys sort of took her as the motherly figure,
Mhm,
right? So they
mhm,
began, and she's older too, so they all listened to her, and she sort of taught them like mannerisms and sort of like motherly nurturing kind of like abilities that she had, and it sort of empowers her as a female, right?
mhm,
But once you put in these females in there, it completely ruins the message, like what it says in the article,
mhm,
right? So it's I'm like that's the reason why it's important. But I think that Disney is so into the diversity, inclusion, and equity kind of bullshit, and that's the reason why like we have to do this. We have to do this, right? And coming from a person who works relatively close to this type of industry, I get that shit all the time, right? I don't say anything about it. I'm like, this is not. You can do whatever you want. Like for me, I'm like, why can't we just hire people based on merit? Like why do we need to hire? Like, oh, just because the person, everyone who's making decisions are just happens to be white people. Oh, we need to hire more people outside of that because there's too many of us. I'm like, what? Why not just hire people who are actually good at their jobs?
Mhm.
And if it still happens to be white people, then so be it, right?
Yes.
If you want to
Yes.
make money, you want to hire the best, and it just so happens that all of them are white. Don't matter, okay? But like if you want this like type of affirmative action type of things, oh, we need to hire people based off of race and stuff like that, then then it's sort of like, okay, then rest in peace, Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream. Forget about that, right? In his original novel, Barry explicitly states that there are absolutely no lost girls because infant girls are simply too smart to fall out of that cribs and wander off. There you go. There you go. It's like girls are too smart. Boys are stupid.
Yeah.
Boys are dumb. So that's the reason why they wander off, right? And that shows female empowerment.
Yeah,
I don't see
exactly.
anything wrong with that.
Which they just killed.
Yeah. So what do we have here? If they looked into the story why there aren't women, they realize they are insulting women rather than empowering them. Yep, exactly. Yep, 100%. The thing is that the story is actually shows why you need women in your life, right? May it be it's like just one that sort of shows this like maturity, and girls are a lot smarter than guys, because you always see those things like why why men live shorter than women, right? And you see like a bunch of guys on like one of those like I forgot what those things are called, chat. The things at the park, but it's literally like a little like the thing that you sort of swing around and it swings. So what happened was one guy he brought a um he brought a little dirt bike and put the tires on it and revved it up, and it spun so fast, like three of guys just flew, like literally just flew off of the thing, and they
Oh.
actually got hurt. I'm like, yeah, that's the reason why men die earlier, because we're dumbass. Oh man. Oh man. Hi friends. Are you two in America? I'm in South Korea. Oh,
Oh,
you already got
wow.
some person in Korea.
Korea. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm in the US, and I believe and Grae is in the Philippines.
Or like we're
Yeah.
practically in two opposite sides of the world. That's
Yeah.
why it's dark
So
in his screen and it's mega bright in my screen.
yeah, we gotta find a good like
Yeah.
balance between time
Equal
zones so we
lighting.
can. Yeah.
Yeah, to make sure it's fit for as many people as possible.
Yeah, we die early because we like fun. Yeah, this is literally dumb shit. We do dumb stuff. There's so many things that I've done as a kid where like I'm surprised that like I'm okay. To be honest, I have a lot of like scars and like bruises, and like I have 3 scars on my head. Like if
Mm.
you actually see it over here, there's a
Oh
scar
yeah, yeah,
here.
yeah.
There's a scar here and a scar on the back. All because I was a dumbass. Okay,
Oh, okay.
so like of course hair never grew back because it was crazy. Okay, to one of them, the one on the back, I ran into a brick wall. Don't ask me how. That I just did. Okay, I was running as a
Okay.
kid. I ran into a brick wall. Okay, I wasn't looking. All right, I'm not gonna say anymore. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Therein, after making the acquaintance of the young English girl, Peter asked by Wendy, "Where do you live mostly now?" In which she replies, "With the Lost Boys. There are the children who fall out of their perambulators when the
Yeah,
nurse
I
is
don't know what that
looking.
means.
Yeah, that's a made up word right there. That's definitely a made up word. When the nurse is looking the other way. If they are not claimed in 7 days, they are sent far away to the Neverland to defray expenses. I'm captain. Wow. Uh, this, if you look at it, this could actually be pretty dark, right? After 7 days, the kids die and they go to heaven. Oh, okay, that's really dark. This met with the reaction of what fun must be from his new companion. Peter laments in reply, "Yes, but we are rather lonely. You see, we have no female companionship." Pressed by Wendy as to whether or not none of the others are girls, the almost mythical youth confirms, "Oh, no girls, are much too clever to fall out of their prams."
Rams.
So it's Parmesan. But yeah, see, this shows like women are smart and men are dumb. There you
Mhm.
go. Yeah, see, most of my injuries are being stupid. Yep, 100%, dude. Yeah, being stupid is the best thing. Sorry, no, don't be stupid, chat. Don't be like me. Do stupid shit. Okay. There's another time I was trying to be cool when I was playing Street Fighter 2 on the Super Nintendo, and then me and my cousin's friends were all hanging outside our house, and we have this like this brick wall that's about like maybe like 4 feet high, and I was like, I don't know, I was like 6 or some shit, and I climbed on top of it. Hey guys, this is what I learned in Street Fighter. I was like, sure you can, and literally jumped off the thing. My eyes closed, and I landed boom on the side of my arm like this on the ground. And I was literally go, ah! Start crying. And all of my friends just left, and I was just crying there by myself. Okay, so that's just sort of sad. Okay, but it's actually, I really got like a giant ass bruise on my arm right here.
They didn't even check if you were okay. They just left.
Nope, they fucking left. They fucking split like a banana, man. They look like the cockroaches, like they literally just left. But yeah, I was crying there for like like 2-3 minutes. Opened my eyes, like, okay, no one's here. I'm gonna stop crying. Go back inside the house. All right. Following a brief introduction, both Wendy and the Lost Boys, the trailer then cuts to show both the young girl and her brothers, John and Michael, being introduced to the Lost Boys home base by their new hosts. Peter found it just like he found us all, asserts one young man, prompting Wendy to realize, just like he found me. Cutting to the Darlings' England bedroom, the trailer then turns to introduce the film's titular protagonist. That's a nice word. Played by the up-and-coming UK actor Alexander Maloney. Yeah, so because like like Russell Peters in his stand-up comedy, he said, yeah, so, you know, like sort of because Russell Peters he's Indian, so he's like, yeah, it's like my motherland. We call it England. Sorry, that could be racist. That could be that could be that could be taken out of context, as well as his magical fairy companion Tinkerbell. So here it is. Yeah. So the Tinkerbell we all know is blonde, blue-eyed, and I believe like Tinkerbell has like a sort of like infatuated with I think she's
Peter
infatuated
Pan.
with Peter Pan, right?
Yeah. I kind of remember that.
Yeah. However, in contrast, her original animated depiction was blonde, a white woman, and appearance inspired by former real Disney animation model Margaret Carey. Peter Pan and Wendy instead presents Tinkerbell as a dark-haired black woman, courtesy of actress Yara Shahidi. Grownish? Okay, yeah, I don't watch that. From there, the trailer cuts to presents a montage of the film's fantastical scenery, including the shattered face of Big Ben, and the Darlings leap off of it and begin their flight into a school of glowing mermaids, barely visible underneath the ocean surface. And this is Jude Law? Oh, what did they
Jude
do to
Law's
this
Captain Hook.
handsome man?
Yeah, in the trailer, it kind of looks terrible too, honestly.
Yeah, man. The thing is that we all know Jude Law is a very handsome man, but the thing is that he looks so haggardly. Oh man! Before revealing the live-action Captain Hook himself, brought to life by storied actor Jude Law. Okay, and ultimately ending the tease cinematic airborne battle between Peter and his pirate foes. In the press release provided the media, director David Lowery proclaimed that in the making of Peter Pan and Wendy, we set out to craft a film that honors both the original J.M. Barrie text and Walt Disney animated adaptation. We wanted to invigorate our retelling and with emotional sincerity and open heart and grand yearning. So this is Tiger Lily, right? I'm pretty sure this is Tiger Lily here. Yep. Let's see. Hundreds of incredible artists spent years bringing this film to the screen. The man who previously helmed the Pete's Dragon remake and A24's and the Green Knight. I'm excited for audience to see their work, to go on this ride and rediscover the evergreen tale from a new perspective. Yeah, this is not for us anymore. this ain't for us anymore, man. It's gone. It's definitely gone, dude. I split my forehead open on a fire hydrant as a kid, pretending to be Spider-Man. A few years later, broke my collarbone jumping off of a bill. Oh shit, you're crazy. Well, I'm glad you're still alive. But
Yeah.
that's wild. Grae, have you ever done anything crazy like that as a kid?
Have I ever done? I think not really. It's mostly just I hit my head somewhere that I was because I was so sleepy. Like there was like a bike on top, a bike hanging on top. So I just walked through it and I hit my head. Stuff like that.
Okay.
And I was just doing really something. I don't think I ever had the chance to. Well, probably when I was 5, what do you call that part? By your legs, because I like jumping in the couch when I was 5.
Mhm.
Like I like jump over it. Then I sort of hurt my legs because I kept doing that, so I couldn't walk for like a week or two. That was way back. I couldn't recall anymore. That's probably the
Oh
wildest
man.
thing I did. Yeah,
That's it, man. That's tame. That's like
yeah.
that's like
It's same. It's
mild.
same. It's nothing compared to yours.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, so yeah, I cracked my head open jumping off a swivel chair, trying to Indiana Jones and hit the leg of a chair. Oh shit, man. Yeah, we're crazy. We're crazy. Oh yeah, this one. People. Oh shit. Yeah, X-ray girl. But yeah, I'll be fake with mustache. Jude Law is handsome. I got news for you. Yeah. I got, so here's the thing, like younger Jude Law, yeah, he's definitely he's very handsome looking, but now like he's his receding hairline is not looking so great, and his age is definitely showing. But yeah, let's see, Peter Pan and Wendy swoops exclusively into Disney Plus. Okay, I'm glad it's exclusively to Disney Plus. Okay, I ain't gonna be watching that shit. Yeah, I'm definitely ain't gonna be watching that, and yeah, I am very happy that that this is here right here. If I can dumbs down this and make it even more, like I'm gonna refresh this.
It
Uh,
might be more.
yeah, it might be more now. Is it 2320? Yeah, oh, there it is. It's 320 now. It went up went up by 1,000. But yeah, man. I'm not sure. So this has been out for. So I remember watching a video of someone talking about this yesterday. The comments were still available. Now the comments are gone, and I'm pretty sure all of them are gone now. Like, but man, the thing is that like you what's that saying from Game of Thrones where it's like uh they only cut off your tongue because they fear what you have to say or something like that. And I think like Tyrion Lannister says that. But uh I think that's who says it. I'm not 100% sure. I forgot already. But yeah, I ain't gonna be watching this. I don't care if I don't care if it's free. I believe I'm using like my wife's cousin's like Disney Plus account or something like that. And yeah, I'm not gonna be
Okay.
watching this. Are
Yeah,
are you gonna watch it?
I kind of want to make a video. Actually, I'll make one when it releases.
Oh, you're gonna you're gonna
I'll make
watch it. See,
I'll make a video for the channel for sure. It's like it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
yeah. Oh, good luck to that though. Here's what I recommend you doing if you have time. Watch this and then watch the original animated one and
Yeah,
then compare. Hmm.
for sure. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna watch the old one, and maybe
Yeah.
Hook, the one you mentioned, because you said
Oh yeah.
it's really
Hook
good.
is good. Hook is good. Hook
Yeah.
is if you're gonna watch it, I don't want to give it away, but it's
Okay.
yeah, it's Peter Pan. It's I think it was done in like 91 or something. Yeah, it's a while back, but this is exactly what I did with Mulan as well. Like right when Mulan, like, oh, we're gonna release Mulan with Disney Plus, and then we're gonna charge you an additional $30
Yeah.
to watch it
Just
first
insane.
before everyone. I'm like, fuck that. I freaking just go online and found it on a random website.
Yeah, exactly. And it was on Disney Plus, right? Also,
Yeah, it was on Disney
they're
Plus. Yeah.
charging 30, yeah, for Disney Plus. Which is
Yeah, because
insane.
it was like what $15 or something like that, $10. I forgot how much is for Disney Plus, and then on top of that, it's like $30 to get early access to watch it. Right. So here's the thing. So we talked about this last week. Did you guys like Dune? I did
Oh yeah,
not
we were
watch Dune. I did not
yeah,
read Dune. I did not watch the remake.
yeah,
Great.
yeah, we thought I have no idea what Dune is, and he had to explain to me. It's something
Is it
in the
like a
desert,
sand dune?
a plot in the
All right.
desert. Yeah, we have no idea
Yeah.
what Dune is. We need to take a look at it.
If you want to watch, if you want a Dark Peter Pan, watch the OUAT arc. I don't know what that is. I don't. I don't
Yeah,
know
I
what
don't
that
know
is.
what. I
Yeah,
don't
what
know
is that?
either.
What is that? As you can tell, we're pretty dumb. All right, all right, cool. So now, so do you let's jump over this one. I do want to I did want to talk about it last week, but I sort of wanted to sort of get more context on this before. But it'll be pretty cool to talk about this and to sort of get your take on it, since it's more it's it has to do in the realm of like being canceled, right? So do you know who Dilbert? Know what Dilbert is?
No, I have no idea.
Okay,
Although
so
I think I saw that character before, but yeah, zero idea.
yeah. So Dilbert is was originally in comics. I think it's like one of those comic strips that you pick up. You go to, like, just your 7-Eleven, you grab a newspaper. On the back of the New York Times, there's like several comic strips, and this is one of them, along with Garfield and Archie or something like that, right? So I believe Scott Adams, I do follow him on Twitter, and he basically came out, I think, last week, and he basically he did this thing, like a hyperbole statement, where he extremely exaggerated something based off of I guess a survey of like 1,000 people, right? And it was about like they're asking, white people questions, asking black people questions, and basically he said something along the lines of like, you should get out of like neighborhoods with black people, and then he got dropped from every publication, like every newspaper
Oh,
completely dropped him because he said this. So the thing is that he said it as a hyperbole, sort of like being exaggeration and not really, but of course people clipped that and used it as like, hey, he said this thing, so we have to cancel him. And the thing is that like both the right and the left doesn't like him. Like, I'm talking about like politics wise. But yeah, he's completely canceled now. So it's because he was accused of holding racist views and promoting segregation. So the long-running comic strip Dilbert has been widely dropped from publication after its creator Scott Adams was falsely accused of being both a racist and segregationist. So yeah, I believe this thing is huge. Dilbert's been around for such a long time, and it's I do like the as an artist, I do like the style. It's very unique. Adam came under scrutiny after addressing a poll conducted by Rasmussen Reports, which found that only a very small percentage of Black Americans disagreed with the statement, "It's okay to be white." According to the poll of 1,000 people, which is not a lot, right? I believe
yeah,
we have about 350 million people here in the U.S.,
yeah.
and
One
this is
thousand
only
sound.
1,000. This is not even 1%,
Mm-hmm.
right? Surveyed from across various ethnic political groups, roughly 18% of Black respondents, or roughly 180 individuals, asserted that they strongly disagree with the statement as presented. Similarly, 8% Black respondents, or 80 individuals, somewhat agreed with the statement, while 21%, 210 individuals, were not sure how they felt about the phrase. Right. So this is the actual Rasmussen report that's posted on Twitter. Yeah, so and this of course this is his take, and I believe he was being interviewed by like Hotep Jesus, which is a I think he's a commentator, and he talks about like sort of just like libertarianism and sort of like uh politics, right? So taking notice of the poll around February 22nd, Adams carved time out that day's episode of Real Coffee with Scott Adams to comment on the ridicule, even its result. Rasmussen had provocative, sorry, a little poll today. They said, "Do you agree or disagree with the statement that it's okay to be white?" That was an actual question, right? Like the answer is like, who cares? That should be, who cares, right? Of course it should. If you're a white, you should be comfortable in your own skin, and just because
Uh-huh.
people are saying, the media or publications or entertainment saying that, oh, you have to do this because you're a white, right? And the thing is, I forgot who it was. There was a person recently that like she was saying that we need reparations because we are descended from slaves. We need money for reparations for what you guys did to us. And I guess she did some. And I guess her lineage comes from that her family was actually slave owners. So I'm like, it's just like, dude, it's like, do you not see, like, it's so crazy, like what's going on right now, and it's nutty. And I do want to talk about like something that happens in California later, but yeah, it's wild. Adding together, that is 47% of Black respondents were not willing to say if it's okay to be white. Adam summarized the 147 individuals who provided such negative answers. That's like a real poll. This just happened. Did you have any idea? Would you have imagined that could have happened? Making a comment that was obviously meant to be taken as lighthearted humor, the artist then said, "As you know, I've been identifying as Black for a while because I like to be on the winning team and I like to help." Yeah, so this is obviously like, yeah, just like, hey, he's joking, he's exaggerating, he's being funny or some shit like that. But a lot of people will just take this out of
They
context.
took it literally.
Yeah, and you know, let's continue. I always thought, well, if I help the Black community, that's the biggest lever, Adams explained. You can find the biggest benefit. So I thought, well, that's the hardest thing and the biggest benefit. So I like to focus a lot of my life resources in helping Black Americans. So much that I started identifying as Black to just be on the team I was helping. But it turns out that nearly half of the team doesn't think I'm okay to be white, which is, of course, why I identified as Black, so I could be on the winning team for a while. Yeah, this is obviously a joke.
Yeah.
Right? This is oh man, America's what's happening? What's happening? Yeah, explaining that he isn't always easily influenced by polls results he comes across, he admits that Rasmussen's latest survey did manage to change his mind, declaring that he normally gives little weight on such polls. I have to say, this is the first political poll that I've ever changed my activities. I don't know that that's ever happened before. Normally, you see a poll, you just look at it and you go, whatever, yeah, oh, this is interesting, what other people think. He went on, but as of today, I'm going to re-identify as white because I don't want to be a member of a hate group. I had accidentally joined a hate group. So nearly half of the Blacks are not okay with white people, according to this poll. Not according to me, according to this poll. That's oh shit. Right? Because you do know that people who are like, oh, I'm transracial, right? I'm transracial, right? Like I believe I was watching one of Tim Pool's he interviewed this guy who's a white guy who lived in Korea for a long time. And he says
Okay.
that like in Korea, it's common for people to do surgery at 18 years old,
Yes. Yeah.
right?
It's a
Because like,
graduation gift. It's a
yeah,
graduation
yeah,
gift.
yeah. I had no idea, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
like you either get your cheeks shaved or your
Uh-huh.
chin shaved, nose job. A lot of people get double eyelid surgery, right, to get bigger eyes. So the thing is that like I do know a friend who has gotten double eyelid surgery. She got it for her 18th birthday. She's from Taiwan. White people are the worst. This is a person who's from South Korea. Sorry, this one right here. Yeah. I identify as Phillip,
Where's
become
Phillip?
Project Eggroll. Welcome to Project Eggroll. Yeah. So the thing is that this person lived in Korea, and she's like, I felt like I'm Korean. I'm Korean. So this person started getting surgery to look more Korean. So like
Oh,
got
okay.
like eye slant surgery to make their
Chinky for
eyes
the
a little bit.
chinky eyes.
Yeah,
Okay.
for the more chinky eyes, like to get their eyes a little bit smaller, to get their skin more has a little bit more like because instead of being like super white, it'll just like have a little bit more like yellow into it and stuff like that. But yeah, and then halfway they're like, I stopped because like I found out it was just like it's not, I can't be that person. Yes, I'm on the outside looking like that, but they said that it's a normal thing in Korea to sort of make themselves look more Western, more white looking, right? It's because that's what they see. And they said that they get their eyes bigger and they shave down their things so they look more like, and they get their nose done to look more white. So if I can recall, Korea, biggest plastic surgery country.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel. And it doesn't make sense, right? But yeah, so it's just like, I can identify as anything. It's just like this identity politics thing. It's getting out of hand, man.
Mhm.
Yeah, like so, but and that's why I always ask you, since you're from the Philippines, like you don't encounter this as much as we do here, huh?
Yeah, yeah. It's only honestly in my perspective here. It's like it's usually I see fit this stuff. It's usually when I go online, not people I encounter in real life. Not
Mhm.
people like it's like people in real. Yeah, we don't even talk about this stuff. Like we literally don't really care about it much. It's only when we go online, see Twitter, see YouTube, when people
Mhm.
talk about this stuff. So it's much more prevalent topic in the West for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so let's see. And I don't want to have anything to do with them. And I would say, based on the current ways things are going, the best advice I would give to white people is to stay the hell away from black people. Just get the fuck away. Wherever you have to go, just get away, because there's no fixing this. So that's a quote directly from him. So this is what they clipped. This is what they clipped right here. Um, the best advice right here. This is all they clipped. Like, the best advice I would give to white people is get the hell away from black people. That's all. And basically they took that out of context because it was a part of an entire thing, right? That's when you need context. From the bigger picture, you could clearly tell he's making a joke. From this one sentence right over here that's highlighted, boom. Every publication of him is canceled. Everything that basically he's done. And the thing is, I like this is last week. I'm not sure, or early this week, but I'm not sure what happened now. So I sort of do want to know, right? But this can't be fixed. You just have to escape. So that's what I did. I went to a neighborhood where I have a very low black population, because unfortunately there's a high correlation between the density. And according to CNN anchor Don Lemon, by the way, yeah, this is actually what he said. Like him, Don Lemon from CNN, he was like, "Oh yeah, I live in a mostly white neighborhood because there's a lot of crime in the neighborhood that I used to live in." So here I'm just quoting Don Lemon when he notes that when he lived in the mostly black neighborhood, there were a bunch of problems that he didn't see in white neighborhoods. So even Don Lemon sees a big difference in your own quality of living based on where you live and who's there. Ultimately, Adams declared, "I think it makes no sense whatsoever as a white citizen of America to try to help black citizens anymore. It doesn't make sense. It's no longer a rational impulse." And Adams mentioned that Lemon refers to that in 2013. Yeah, he actually talked about it back then in a Bill O'Reilly thing. Yeah, so it's it's crazy that the fact that he's getting super canceled over this.
Yeah, because of
Yeah,
yeah, it's kind of I feel bad for him actually to lose
yeah.
his career for something like that.
He's relatively outspoken though. Like, if you actually follow him on like Twitter, like he actually goes on and says a lot of like things, about like he like both the Republican side and the Democrat side don't like him. It's because like
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I mean I've never been a boss or on a managerial level, but for
yeah,
me it's like as long as you're not crapping on your employer or the company you're working for, it's like you can have whatever take you want. It's like as long as it's not radical for it's like terrorism is good, stuff like that. If like if certain topics you have if you're really outspoken about it, then that's fine. That's your prerogative. As long as it doesn't
yeah,
interfere with your work or it doesn't smear the reputation of your employer, it's fine.
yeah,
That shouldn't be taken against you.
yeah. Chinky Eyes Dagnum's racist. Yo, it's fine. It's fine. We can say it. It's cool. It's cool. Yo, I don't care who says it. Yo, Dave Chappelle says I didn't get pissed. I was laughing. I'm Chinese. But yo, what's going on, Danny? How's it going, man? Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, yeah. But the amount of acceptable hatred towards white people in America
Yeah,
is insane.
exactly.
Everyone should be treated by the individual merit.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm still managing the Vilma comments up to now, I can still see so many. I can still see so many comments saying, "You can't be racist to white people. You can't be racist to white." Again and again, I see so many comments. People kept saying that, so it's a real thing.
Yeah. I believe what's it called again? I had to like chime into one of the comments that you were talking to. I forgot who it was. But he had like a McDonald's hat and a Genshin Primo Gem thing on his avatar. And then he was like, "Bro, like because you're asking him, bring it up. What is it? What is it?" Right? You're asking
Yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah,
And then he was like, "Yo, think about the racism in America. Think about all the slavery and all that stuff and all that stuff." And then I was like, I'm gonna talk to this. I was like,
yeah.
"Dude, I understand." Right? I was like, yes, yes. What's it called? Racism is bad. Okay, and but the thing is that like you got to judge the people on their merits and on their the character and not the characters of their,
Yeah,
not their skin and stuff.
yeah. I didn't follow. He didn't follow up anymore. But I was
No, he
waiting for
stopped.
it. I was waiting for him to get to elaborate on history because I was planning to attack the angle. So you're saying in other parts of the globe there was absolutely no slavery from the other races, but you already kind of said it too. So
Yeah.
he stopped after that. He stopped after that.
Yeah, I basically said that I was like, if you're so my last sentence was, if you're so gung ho bashing white people, maybe you're the racist.
Yeah,
Right? And
yeah,
then he didn't say anything.
yeah.
I was like, and I just said, just go back to playing Genshin and Genshin Impact. Dude. I'm pretty sure you're pretty close to getting pity for the C2 Eula. Yo, but but yeah, yeah. So speaking of widescreen eyes, though, do you know? I always said this, like, yo, I got that widescreen vision, and then my wife is like, what? Because she has like big big eyes, right? And I have these like small slanted eyes, so I have like more vision on this side over here on my peripherals. So I got the 16:9 vision versus she got the 4:3. Sorry. Oh god. Sorry. I'll stop. Okay. Okay. Here's number 5. Pull up your pants. Walking around with your ass and your underwear showing is not okay. In fact, it comes from prison when they take away belts from prisoners so that it can't make it make it a weapon. When you get involved into which role prisoners would have during male on male prison sex, the one with the really low pants is submissive. One, you get my point. Oh yeah, this is when Don Lemon was actually pretty based. I watched like this is one where he's actually talking about just be a regular person. Just don't like the prison pants thing. Yeah, that does actually make sense now if you actually look at it that way. But he's gone completely crazy now. Yeah, number 4 came Don Lemon's recommendation for Black community to refrain from using the N word, with the TV personality explaining by promoting the use of that word, it's not germane to conversation. Have you ever consider that you may just be perpetuating the stereotype of a master intended to acting like the N word? Yeah, it's like stop use. I know like people are like, oh, we can say whatever we want, we can use whatever we want and stuff like that. But if you want to make sure that people stop using that word as a slur or something like that, like you're normalizing it in like music and stuff like that, right? In movies or whatever. And this has actually happened a lot in the 90s, like early 90s, and then like into the 2000s, like every rap there's always like using the racial slurs, and you normalize people saying it is because people listen to your music, right? For his third point, CNN anchor declared, respect where you live, start small but not dropping but by not dropping trash littering in your own communities. I've lived in several predominantly white neighborhoods in my life. I rarely if ever witness people littering. I live in Harlem now. It's historically black neighborhood. Every single day, I see adults and children dropping their trash on the ground when a garbage can is just feet away from them. Just being honest here. Number 2, finish school. I want you to break the cycle of poverty. Poverty. Stop telling kids they're acting white because they go to school or speak proper English. Oh yeah. I remember I was my wife's best friend. She's black, and people are saying that she's whitewashed. Is because she has very proper English, and like she doesn't like she's relative she's pretty hardcore Christian, but she's like very like well spoken, calm, mild mannered, and it's just like she's very easy to talk to, and like a lot of the people in her school, according to my wife, say, "Oh, you're whitewash, you belong with those white people." I'm just like, "Oh, you're being racist, man." It's like just because you're saying that kind of stuff, right? You're saying
Yeah,
right? It's it, that 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 that.
especially if you were born or you practically grew up in the US, your accent is
Mhm.
gonna you're really gonna catch the English accent. So it's not their fault that they're like that.
Yo, what's going on, X Wing? How's it going, man? Yo,
Hello.
yo, here's the thing. Speaking of that, there's one time when I was working at Universal Studios at during Halloween Horror Nights. I was I guess those people who are in the maze to make sure like the people know where they're going and make sure the people do not touch the people who are scaring you, right?
Mhm.
So I believe they were having it was what's it called again, a media night where like you got media, news, paparazzis, and famous people who are coming in. It was basically media night, and they said that, okay, hey, just letting you know, Rob Zombie's coming in. So you know who Rob Zombie is?
No.
So he's a singer. He did the do the begging display, do not Dracula, Dracula. Like he sang that song. That's like his most popular song, right? And
Okay.
he started directing movies and writing movies, A House of a Thousand Corpses and stuff like that. So he came in with a media group, and so he came in, and then there's another media group, and they're like, there's like comes in with like a freaking like bright light camera kind of thing, and then he's like dressed as like Dracula, and he's like, oh my god, oh my god, and he's like, oh my god, I'm so scared, oh my god, I'm so scared. He's like extremely overacting. You can tell he's doing this for the camera, and he goes, oh my god, he goes, and he turns to me, and he goes, Asian. He gets like super scared. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, okay.
So that's the reason why I brought it up, because it was a freaking it was actually pretty funny. Yeah, I didn't care because I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I would have
okay.
thought. Yeah, I would have thought that's funny too. If I, yeah, there are a lot of things I don't know. X-Wing. There are plenty of pop culture things that I got it that I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, let's see. That's true. I'm black, and I've told my whole life that I talk like a white boy because I use proper English. Man, yeah, that sucks, dude. Like
Mhm.
hearing that, it's just like, dude, it's just, who cares, just because I don't know talk with like a slang or anything like that. I don't use the slangs or the verbiage that everyone uses. Oh, you're this
Yeah,
person now. Oh,
it's the
you're
same term. Because I have a friend who moved to Canada. It's like he talks about his teachers who are Filipino, but his English is so strong because he was born in the U.S. He calls them whitewash too. Not, I mean, it's become such a term. I'm not saying I'm not talking bad about my friend, but it's just that it's become such a term for people of non-Caucasians who have very
Mhm.
thick English accents.
Yeah. Like even what's it called again? Like they sort of poke fun of it at like a little bit on like movies and stuff. And I think if it's like a joke here and there, I think it's fine. But if it like continues, you're telling the same
Yeah.
joke over and over again, it's like, I think you're laughing at the wrong things, right? And I think that's like one reason why, like, I think Dave Chappelle like stopped doing his show to begin with. Like people are laughing too hard at some things, and he's like, okay, I'm just gonna stop. But yeah, let's see. All right, here. A high school dropout makes an average of $19,000 a year. A high school graduate makes about 28. A college graduate makes about 51 a year over the course of a career, and a college grad who will make nearly $1 million more than a high school graduate. That's a lot of money. Pointing out in 2010 study conducted that the CDC's National Vital Statistics System, which conducted that the proportions of the non-marital births vary widely among the population of subgroups in 2010. These proportions were 17% for the API, and 29% for the non-Hispanic, and 53% for Hispanic, and 66% for AIAN, and 73% is non-Hispanic Black births. So he's talking about how people who are like having having kids out of wedlock. So according to my wife, she grew up in according to her, she grew up in poverty. She used a lot of food stamps, and she was
Uh,
sort of in the system for a little bit, right? And she says that like a lot of her friends use and abuse the system, right? Is because if you have a baby out of wedlock, you're not married, the government gives you more money. So what they do is they have kids, but they're not married, so they can both file some like extra government stuff, and they get more money, and then they have child support and stuff like that, and the government pays for more, and then they don't ever get married. It's because they're working the system. And the thing is that you can't prove that, you can't like go there and prove it. And I think that's the reason why a lot of people are having kids out of wedlock, is because they want to use the system, right? More than 72% of the children in African American communities were born out of wedlock. That means that absent fathers, and the studies show the lack of male role model is an express train right to prison, and the cycle continues. And the thing is that like he's like what Don Lemon said is 100%. I believe it's 100% accurate, and it's pretty based. But if you were to say that now, right? Like, and of course, a Dilbert creator used it as more of a joke, and he's basically getting canceled for it, right? So, and you have over here, Andrew McKeel universe severing our relationship with Dilbert creator Scott Adams. The process of determination will extend to all areas of our business with Adams and the Dilbert comic strip. As a media and communications company, AMU values free speech, and we are proud to promote and share different voices and perspectives. But we will never support any commentary rooted in discrimination or hate. Recent comments by Scott Adams regarding the race and race relations do not align with our values as a company. Our creator first approach is foundational to AMU, and we deeply value our relationships with the creators. However, in this case, with Adams, our visions and principles are not compatible. So the thing is that a lot of these companies, like what he said, is very, very hyperbolic. It's very shock content, and that's the reason why he got canceled, right? But and then you go have a person who doesn't say anything like that, but just posted an image saying that we don't want history to repeat itself, like Gina Carano. They just outright just come out and just fire her from everything, right?
Yeah.
Same thing, like completely cancel her. And the thing is that a lot of people don't wait for the context and just right out do it because they don't want anything associated with them. It's like we completely disavow, and it sucks. And it sucks. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I feel like I'm gonna get in trouble just for
listening.
Oh man. Oh, but yo, you're good though. You're good. Oh man. Oh, but yeah, it's just it's I think cancel culture is gonna hit its peak, but the thing is that we only get canceled if you allow them to cancel you.
Yeah.
Right. So and that's where I think a lot of people start using, like, making their own content, right? Making their own stuff. And if you don't like their sort of what they're talking about or anything like that, and you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna make my own comic books, right? And you have like Young Ripper, he Eric July, he made his own Ripperverse, right?
Yep.
And people are just started making their own stuff, and that's where Daily Wire, like I'm glad they reached out to Gina Carano. It's like, hey, we're gonna make a movie, and you're gonna be starring in it, and that's why I like to see. And that sort of segues us to Hershey's chocolate. Have you heard about this Hershey's chocolate thing?
Yeah. There's something going on with Hersheys right now. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if this is actually going to be sold outside of the US though. Like, I know it's going to be sold here in the States, but I'm not sure if it's going to be sold outside of the US.
There are a lot of variants in the US that don't make it here unless you really want it, but it's gonna cost a lot more if you go out of your way to be able to acquire it. But yeah, okay.
Yeah. So so I'm gonna read this one before we start. Let's see. It reminds me in 2020 when every day someone was canceled on Twitter, and Adam Driver got canceled for being yeah. People cancel get canceled for no reason. I'm surprised I'm not canceled yet. Right. Let's see. Shout out to Drunk 3 who brought me here. Dope name for a podcast. Yo, thanks, Jared.
Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, I just thought about I don't know, being since we're Asian.
It's like we were thinking. I was thinking. Okay, Phil made the name. I'll just roll with it. Okay, fine. We'll go with it for now. But it just stuck around.
Yeah, I was like, we're just like, okay, yeah, we just call it Project Eggroll for now. We might change it in the future. I don't know, but it looks like people like it.
Yeah.
But yo, thank you, Jared. I appreciate it. All right, so all right, let's go ahead and talk about this one over here. This is from MSN, a Market Watch. Hershey puts a trans woman on a candy bar, and some customers are calling for a boycott. Okay. So I guess, or I believe it's a couple days. This is pretty recent. I believe 2 days ago, I think Hershey's put out a chocolate bar that says like her and she, and so it's like their marketing, right? Like her and she, like the pronouns for a woman. I think that's funny, but the fact that they use a trans person, that's that's where sort of like, oh, but she's not a her or she biologically. But you gotta, in America, you gotta respect my pronouns and all that stuff. And I think it's just, I think people are just done with it. I think a lot of people are just like completely like, okay, I don't care anymore. Right. Just from the margin, another chocolate company's attempt to challenge gender stereotypes has drawn an online boycott. In this case, it's the Hersheys company which launched a campaign in Canada to promote International Women's Day. Sorry. Okay, so you're going to promote a trans woman on International Women's Day? That sounds like an oxymoron.
Yeah.
Oh man. By releasing 5 limited editions she for her chocolate bars, one of the bars features Faye Johnstone, a trans woman who is a co-owner and executive director of the Canadian consulting firm Wisdom to Action, and who describes themselves as queer and trans feminist. See, this is what I hate, man. They, them, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Is there multiple versions of you?
Yeah.
Are you Kang the Conqueror? You have multiple versions? Oh man. Let's see. Yeah, paradox. So, bro, I just got a cool idea for an intro. The logo shows some music before it cuts, and Phillip says, "You like Eggroll as a Chinese." Oh man. Oh yeah. We're living in the paradox, man. The paradox. Jack in the Box has pretty good egg rolls. I've never actually had Jack in the Box egg rolls. I didn't even know they had egg rolls.
Yeah, I didn't know either. No, I didn't eat a lot of Jack in the Box yet.
He is a Hydra, so that's what it is. Oh man. Let's see. Oh man, this is weird. The bar prompted some immediate backlash, especially from the political right, to Johnstone's participation in the campaign as a trans woman. The campaign has renewed heated discussion over gender identity and trans rights online that led to the hashtag boycott Hersheys to jump on top of Twitter trends on Thursday. The social media boycott comes to transgender people in the U.S. have faced horrifying rhetoric at state houses, with at least 150 bills targeting transgender people being introduced so far in this year's, the highest in the single year, according to the Human Rights Campaign, a leading LGBTQ advocacy group and political lobbying organization. So I'm going to stop there. So look, it's your own company. Do whatever you want. Okay. But the thing is that I'm not gonna be buying any of these, right? I'm not gonna be buying any of these. And the thing is that if you don't like it, don't watch. If you don't like it, don't buy it. All right, peace, right? And that's where we have this right over here. So right when they released it, so this is the Daily Wire. So this is from early today. That this is an article came out today. Jeremy's Chocolates sells more than 200,000 chocolate bars in just over 24 hours. So I'm gonna go ahead and watch the video. So I'm not sure if you actually seen the video yet.
Not
So
yet.
so let's go ahead and watch the video.
I didn't know this was the thing.
On us again.
Yeah.
And I love an international woman. But our friends over at Hersheys, they don't even know what a woman is. They've hired a biological male to be the spokesperson for their Women's Day campaign. And they're calling that campaign, and I swear I'm not making this up, Hershey. Hershey. It's humiliating. And it's the reason that I'm launching Jeremy's Chocolate. We have 2 kinds. She, her, and he, him. One of them's got nuts. If you need me to tell you which one it is, keep giving your money to Hersheys. If you're tired of giving your money to woke corporations that hate you, and you're looking for a delicious chocolate bar from a company that actually wants your business, head over to IHateHersheys.com and order Jeremy's chocolate today.
That
was really good.
Amazing commercial.
Really good. Yeah.
Yeah. So so here's the thing. So the Daily Wire guys, I don't believe with everything they say. It's like I don't agree with everything they say, but some of the stuff that they come out with is freaking hilarious. So I believe they like canceled so this thing called Harry's Razors, right? And I believe you might have seen them on like YouTube, like commercials or something like that. But I guess like they ended up like canceling. They don't want to do any more promotions for the Daily Wire, is because they said something they didn't agree with. So he immediately came out with Jeremy's Razors, and like they're basically selling their own stuff. It's like, all right, cool, we're gonna make our own stuff. All right, so and that's what I actually really like. Jeremy's Chocolate, the new business line founded by Daily Wire co-CEO Jeremy Boring, in response to a woke stunt by Hersheys, has sold 200,000 non-woke candy bars in just over 24 hours from when it was launched. That was this is insane, right? And I love this. I actually I love this a lot. I actually might buy some.
I'm kind of curious actually.
The chocolate bars, which come in 2 varieties, were created after Hershey's rolled out the International Women's Day's marketing campaign that featured a man who identifies as a woman as one of its spokespersons. Boring promptly entered the chocolate business, and in a rebuke of Hershey's, made clear the Daily Wire would not compromise in the definition of womanhood. Fine, I'll do it. Introducing Jeremy's Chocolate. Yes, it's real. We have 2 kinds, he, him, and she, her.
See her.
One of them has nuts. If you need me to tell you which one, keep buying Hershey's, right? But if you know what a woman is and love chocolate, go to I Hate Hershey. I actually went on to their website, and it's, I think it's reasonably priced. However, I think just the message itself, it's amazing. I think I think the messaging is great, and it's the fact that this is nutless. Oh man. Oh man, I'm dying. You put math into it, Grae and Phil are gonna lose it. Yo, math? You guys, someone talk about math?
We're gonna stream about math equations.
Yeah. Let me tell you how to do the math. Yeah. The Daily Wire has built a reputation for big responses to woke corporations and institutions. In 2021, the company signed Gina Carano to produce and star in Terror on the Prairie after she was canceled by Disney. And in March of last year, Boring launched Jeremy's Razors in response to Harry's Razors, publicly declaring they would pull ads from the Daily Wire in response to Daily Wire hosts articulating traditional views on gender. The people asked and we answered. Thanks to Jeremy's Chocolate, you can stop eating chocolates that hate you. Harry's Razors hates you. Disney hates you. And now Hershey's hates you. As long as the corporations and institutions across America continue to alienate half of the country, the Daily Wire will continue building alternatives. Stop giving your money to woke chocolate companies that hate you. Yeah, this is great, right? And yeah, they sold 100,000. And a lot of people bought a lot of she, her right over here. And it actually has over there. Over in 12 hours, 100,000 were sold. Daily Wire also published an ad for Jeremy's Chocolate featuring Boring and Daily Wire hosts Brett Cooper and Michael Knowles. And many Twitter users were astonished by the speed with the Daily Wire was able to launch the Jeremy's Chocolate. That was fast.
Yeah,
it's
that was
quick.
amazing. Yeah,
right. Yeah. And when it comes to culture and politics, right? I think I forgot which way it is. I think it's culture is downstream from politics or vice versa. It's so close. And the thing is that the reason why things get across or things get done a lot quicker is because of internet, right? Back then, it used to take you like 3 months for you to deliver a mail because, you know, you have to go on horseback. But now everything is at a click of a button. You send something out. If something goes online that you don't like, you can go online and petition. If it's something that goes crazy or something like that, right? And et cetera, et cetera. I think Twitter was the main reason why Donald Trump won in 2016, right? It's because people are sort of just like, think he's funny. He's saying weird shit online and he's just like hilarious. And they just wanted to vote for someone who's different, right? They don't want to vote for someone who's originally, you know, like who's been in politics for a long time, like Hillary Clinton. So that's the reason why when it comes to politics and culture, if you can set something up like really, really quick, I think it's up the essence, right? If you want to get your points across, like let's say if Disney makes some insanely cringe woke stuff, and then immediately you have the ability to make something really, really quick to sort of counter their narrative or the message, that can definitely like sort of stop them, right? And I think the Quarter Crew did something with like AI animation, which is really, really cool. That like you can make AI animations in like maybe like couple days to like couple weeks now versus taking like months to years, right? let's see. 22 hours ago, the Hershey Chocolate Company used trans person in an ad. Less than a day later, Daily Wire launched their own chocolate company. Did you know they did they know ahead of time about the ad? Right. The thing is that that was super quick, like less than 20.
Yeah. Less than a day. Less than a day.
Yeah, it's amazing. Let's see. Oh, so this is a question from earlier.
Yeah,
Is there-
there's no, there's not. But it's just that I have relatives in the US, then I go there from time to time. Yeah, I'll be actually next month. I'll be going. We'll be me and Phil will be meeting in person for the very first time. So
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. The Denny Tate said, just a quick Google search, but there is one in US and in Guam, and I guess I'm moving to Guam. Oh man.
Guam is
Let's see.
really tiny though compared to Korea. just saying. It's really tiny.
Yeah, but you're gonna miss out on all the good like Korean barbecue
Korean
food.
stuff. Yep, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yo, Korean barbecue sounds amazing right now. But Boring confirmed that he worked through the night Thursday to get the product off the ground. We did not know. He tweeted, "We just stayed up all night for the love of the game and the country and chocolate." Yeah, that's awesome. That's amazing. And we need more of we need counter like culture, right? If they have something on that they're trying to push out that we don't agree with, we need something. It's like, oh, just make your own movie. Just make your own. Just do this. Just do this. And like sort of like what drunk 3PO J drunk 3PO is doing. He's seeing a lot of these woke nonsense, crazy ideology stuff that's pushed into kids' libraries. So he's like, I'm just gonna make my own stuff. And the thing is that if you have the opportunity to do it, I don't see why not. And you shouldn't get a lot of hate for it. It's just because you're doing something, right? I remember he was mentioning how like someone from Marvel was like, "Oh, your comic book isn't going to make as much as my book. Your graphic novel." It's like, dude, I'm just trying to make books for kids, all right? And I'm doing this by myself, and maybe a couple other people who are helping me with the artist or whatever. I'm doing this all by myself. I don't have a big ass production company to help me and have millions of dollars to get this out. So I do like that.
In a way, it's already been happening for years, just not in a large scale. Like example, G&G, Nerdrotic. That's why they rose to prominence so quickly. It's because people are so sick of these woke stuff that they resort to, instead of watching actual movies, they just go to YouTube and watch the people talk about this kind of stuff instead. That's why. Yeah.
I do like that. The amount of people crying over Corridor is insane. You got artists who are living off of fan art, telling Corridor AI steals art, not knowing that their income is literally another person's art. So the thing is, as what's it called again? If for the chat, for people in the chat, if you didn't know, I went to school for animation, so I wanted to be a 2D animator. Okay, and then I found out in a junior college that they no longer do animation in America because everything is being outsourced. It's a lot cheaper to get it outsourced. So it's a lot. Yeah, you're basically paying $1,000 or like maybe $3,000 versus like $20,000 a person's salary, right?
Yeah.
So
to get I'll just add to what you said. It's because it's a lot cheaper to pay people up internationally, especially in countries like ours, to give you an idea. So the minimum wage here in the Philippines, in the capital, it's even lower in the provinces. It's around $10 a day. A day, not an hour, a day. That's the minimum wage for here in the Philippines. So you can imagine how much cheaper people have to pay wages if they just outsource it to other countries.
So that's where what happened was we started outsourcing stuff to Korea. I think Korea was one of the earlier ones, and then I think China's stepping up their game. So I know that China is one of those countries we do outsource to. I know we do outsource to India as well, and I think there are some outsourcing studios that are actually located in the Philippines. So it's cheaper. So then what happened was like, all right, cool. Then I'm not going to be an animator anymore. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to be a storyboard artist. And then I'm like, fuck storyboard artist. I don't like doing that shit. So I'm like, I'm just going to do concept art, right? Character designer kind of stuff. And then everyone wants to be a concept artist. Everyone wants to be a character designer. So now with that in mind, knowing that everything is being outsourced now, like the stuff that I actually really wanted to do, now with AI stuff coming in, we do know that everything is going to be AI. Like we don't need actual concept artists anymore. Like there's a guy who actually won $100,000 art like contest using AI art. It looks like oil paintings. The guy who won. I think he lives in Brazil, and it's pretty wild. And hearing like now seeing like AI can do basically most of the animation. All you need to do is just like put in a bunch of stuff. I like it and I don't like it. So it's great. The technology is coming this far. I think all we need to do now is just put in some words and then animation. You film yourself and then it turns you into an animation. But you still have to do a lot of like post work, and that's where like editors, like visual effects artists, like all those like post production people will get like their job is still relatively safe, versus like the pre production stuff, like concept art, visual development artists, like even 3D models now, like 3D modelers, like all of their jobs going to eventually go out. But like, so instead of like hiring, my team, we have like about maybe like 30 people. Instead of hiring 30 people, you only need like 5. So it's the jobs are going to eventually go away. It's just how you're going to do it. Taiwan is the real China, right? Free Hong Kong, yeah, absolutely, right. So Jared asks, where do you guys live? Hope not Cali. So Grae, where do you live again?
I'm in the Philippines. I live in the capital, so that's why if you're wondering why my window is so bright, yeah, I'm at the other side of the world. And Phil,
I live in Southern California, and it's hard to get out. It's really hard to get out right now, especially now that I have a kid. This is definitely a lot harder to get out. But yeah, I live in California. But the thing is that like I use how I vote is just I'm voting based off of whatever I feel. Get out. It's expensive, man. It's expensive. I heard like it took Gary. Okay, not so. Gary it took him a while. He had a lot of shit that he needed to bring over. But I remember when I was buying something from a guy. We went to an FFL. I was buying something from a guy, and I asked him, "Where are you going?" He's like, "Why are you selling me these things?" And he said, "I'm moving to Texas." I'm like, "Oh shit." I'm like, "How much does that cost?" He said, "For the U-Haul's $4,000." I was like, "Just for U-Haul?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, how much is U-Haul regularly? He's like, if I were to use it with gas and all that stuff, it shouldn't be more than $1,000. So he says it's about $4,000. It's more expensive to get out than it is to come in. It's because they want to tax the shit out of you before you leave. It sucks. Yeah. Getting out of one place to another. It's definitely very expensive. Very expensive. I would say like the nearest place that I can probably move to is Nevada. It's like go like to Vegas. That's where like my wife's family is located. But it's definitely hard. I know they are building a bullet train between California and Nevada. So there's gonna be a bullet train. Our first actual bullet train. Like every other like big like countries will have like bullet trains, that we don't have one yet. So I think they are going to be building one from California to Las Vegas. So hopefully that helps a lot. But
yeah,
I'm stuck in California. But yeah, let's see. Seems like everyone leaving from Cali goes to Texas. Yeah, they moved to Austin, where the woke capital is, right? Austin and Houston have a lot of woke people. So like that's why a lot of people are like, dude, don't go to Texas. Like if you are gonna come here, don't vote the way you did. But it's just, oh, the houses are so cheap. I'm gonna move to freaking what's it called again? Houston or whatever, right? So it sucks, man. Don't bother coming down south past Esco. They are turning the highways to toll roads. Oof. But man, that sucks. All right, so yeah, that Hersheys thing was hilarious. All right, so speaking of transgender, sorry, we're gonna talk about this one.
there's always more. There's always
more. Yeah, there's always more. Here it is. It's from Bounding into Comics. So I guess there was a game that came out not long ago. transgender developer releases anti-gender fascist game Turfenstein
Turfenstein.
to draw a comparison between gender critics and Nazi Germany. So basically, anyone who I'm assuming this type of game is if you're more of a person who thinks that men are men, women are women, they're men cannot be women and women cannot be men. You're a Nazi. That's basically what they're trying to basically say. If you believe in the traditionalists of man and woman, then you're considered a Nazi. And this is, hey, like I said, if you want to make a game, do it yourself. This person, I think this person did them themselves. Look, more power to you. I ain't gonna stop you. It's funny as fuck. I don't think anyone's gonna play it. I don't know. Maybe they get like $1,000 from it. I don't know. A transgender programmer has launched Turfenstein 3D, a game in which players kill women critical of transgender ideology. So basically, people like J.K. Rowling. Oh shit. Oh man. Using the acronym TERF, which stands for Trans Exclusionary Radical Feminist, and is used to denounce women who don't support trans individuals, even if they support feminist ideals, transgender developer Sandra Moen created Turfenstein 3D. The title that is essence to the parody of the software's Wolfenstein 3D. Touted as first-person shooter about infiltrating gender fascists' facility and disabling their weapons of mass destruction. The game's target audience is assumed to be aware of the transphobic pressure that exists to transgendered people by the media and TERFs. While development has been documented by on Moen's Twitter profile, the game's first trailer was revealed in 2022 and launched on Steam in January of this year. Moen describes Turfenstein 3D as offering LGBTQIA+, there's going to be more acronyms, man, transgender and feminist themes to gender-critical people and what post-war apocalyptic world will look like if the gender fascists won. Look, isn't
I was about to say it's a priest. And there's an enemy priest.
Yep. So basically, and dogs. So basically, TERFs, a woman who believed that women should have a woman's rights, dogs and priests are bad guys. In this dystopian world, fascists have killed and imprisoned all transgender and queer people, subjecting them to harsh conversion therapy, imprisonment, and death. You play as an escapee fleeing their detention center while you exact your revenge. Moen states in the game that brings to light the very real transphobic violence many transgender people face for just existing. Yeah, I believe that's also an exaggeration in my opinion, right? Like I feel like there's this thing where like even though it's like it doesn't seem like it's such a big deal to one person, it's a big deal to other people, right? Mm-hmm. And the thing is, it's getting out it's getting out of control, man. Don't do it, man. Don't do it, man. Don't do it. Openly admitting that the game is designed to draw comparison between gender critics and Nazi Germany, all enemies appears to be female or priests or guard dogs. Banners, other decorations in the environment are adorned with a Nazi-style XX symbol, which also XX is a chromosome for women, so I'm assuming that's the reason why. While blood splatters against the wall. Developed over 4 months, this solo project is one of many controversial games that the developer has made. Being able to artistically express yourself is a proven way to heal trauma and possibly also move on. This game also hopes to achieve that for players who need it through gameplay that would stir up the hidden and muddied emotions. Please take care of yourself and your loved ones. Even the game's launch trailer prides itself of being the most hated game of 2022. Wait, if this game came out in 2020, it'll probably be right after The Last of Us #2. Showcasing the alleged tweets from Twitter users mocking or condemning Moen's work. Oh, man. So here's the thing. I think it's fine for you to have created this game, but if you get like vitriol or hate against it, hey,
Yeah.
that's your and
That's
I'm pretty sure that's what you want. You
yeah.
want
Yeah.
bad publicity. It's like, oh, is it that bad? How bad is it, right? And then this person
Mhm,
goes and play it, and you're like, okay, it's pretty bad. That means you already bought the game, all right?
mhm.
So, while XX of the enemies could represent the XX chromosomes that indicate a woman on genetic level, is strikingly similar to the logo of Women's Declaration in the International. A group reaffirms women and girls' sex-based rights and challenges the discrimination we experience from the replacement of the category of sex with that of gender identity. Christina Ellingsen, WDI's lead representative now in Norway, took the allusion in a shockingly calm stride when speaking to Redux, believing Moen was clearly appropriating the WDI logo. And she wondered how Moen would portray a top-level feminazi boss.
Feminazi.
So here's the thing. Speaking of feminazi, I remember the company I used to work for when I was working there. I was talking about Suicide Squad, right? And how
Okay.
Suicide Squad, like if why I was like, a lot of things are changing where they're making women a lot, and this is back in like 2016, 2015, how women are being like promoted while talking men down. But the thing is that a lot of these women are toxic and could lead to a word like being a feminazi, right? I said that and I got in trouble for that.
Oh,
Just that
really?
word. Yeah. So I didn't get like fired, but the thing is that I guess there's a coworker of mine. She got very upset. And the thing is, I was friends with her, like, and so she brought me to the side, and she's like, "Hey, I heard you talked about that. I wanted to see what you were talking about, right?" And I told her, I was like, I was just using the word because this is what you use to describe people who are like, the feminism, who are like really hardcore feminists. That if you don't agree with them, and I'm talking about how a lot of people who use this word out of context as well, right? And she got really really upset, and like she actually went up to like my like senior producer and like and they're like, oh my god, you want me to bring this to HR, right?
Yeah.
It was yeah. So like if she was like, no, I think I know him pretty well, so I'm gonna talk to him in person instead of bringing this up, like escalating this HR, because if it was escalated, I probably would have gotten fired for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good thing that didn't
So
happen.
yeah, it didn't. But the thing is, I explained to her, I told her how I felt, right? I told her why I used that word, right? And the thing is that she's like, you know what Nazi is, right? I'm like, yeah. And the thing is that like, and she's like, I'm a feminist. And the thing is that you're basically putting us in the same group as these hate groups. And then I'm like, oh, I'm basically I was like, I apologize for using that word, but the thing is that like I'm trying to explain something to like my coworker of mine. She overheard it, and I wasn't calling her that, but it
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
right, I wasn't calling anyone that. Like she overheard me using it, and she heard it out of context. And you know how like sometimes you have selective hearing, and you're like, if you hear a word, you're like, boobs. You're like, what? Where? Right? It's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you have
yeah,
a
yeah.
paragraph, and all of a
Exactly.
sudden you hear something. You're like, boobs? Where's the boob? Where the boob at? Right? So she got the selective hearing, and she heard that, and she sort of triggered her. And I'm like, okay, see, that's my first time I've ever felt like, okay, like thing like even I wasn't calling you anything. The fact that you say that word can trigger someone to a point where you can potentially even get fired. Like you gotta,
Mhm,
especially
mhm.
like the industry I'm working in, like you gotta be careful,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's scary,
Even the
man.
stuff you say here, I feel like sometimes you're putting yourself. So I mean, in my line of work, it's fine. I mean, they don't really care. But for your
Mhm.
case, yeah, I can see the exposure you're putting yourself into.
Like it's funny because like I I see like I'm putting myself in like a very like if like what happens if someone from my work like sees this,
Mhm,
right? I'm like, if they fire me for it, like I'm not saying. Here's the thing: I've never badmouthed anyone, right? Not my company, not the
mhm,
project I work on,
mhm,
or and the thing is that like I always consider it as whenever you would go to like a public event where you are representing the company. Like I remember when I went to E3 for the first time, right? And right, it's back then it used to be industry only. It says, okay, when you're going to E3, you are representing the company. Do not say anything crazy. Do not act a fool because you're representing us. So the thing is that if I'm representing the company that I'm working for, as you know, I'm on YouTube or whatever, or on Twitch or whatever, like I'm gonna say what I feel. The thing is that I have the right to say that, right? But at the same time, I'm not talking shit. I'm not talking down to anyone. It's just that's how I feel. It's like I say this sounds crazy, right? But I'm not singling any person out, saying that you shouldn't exist, right? I'm not saying trans people should not exist or anything like that. You live your life. You do whatever you want to do, right? That's how I feel. But the thing is, it's just like I'm looking at video games over here saying that, oh, just because you're saying a specific word, oh, you're gonna get canceled for it, right? And the thing is that like you already have people who are already like trying to cancel what's called again Ivana Lynch already. Like people are trying to, oh, we gotta cancel her already. Right?
Yeah.
Yo,
You were right in your prediction there last week. It's like I think there's articles are videos are starting to come up with Ivana Lynch that people were trying to cancel, but they failed.
Yeah. Yo, hello. Rabnad, hello.
Hello.
Hello. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, so basically you are a Twitter activist? Maybe. Let's see. Males threat of violence against women and girls in digital sphere is obvious and ubiquitous. But to men who claim to be women, digital media is used for a kind of gamification of misogyny that is unprecedented. She also cited banned browser extension Shinigami Eyes, which marks social media profiles that fall in the TERFs and transphobic categories. Shinigami Eyes? Is that from Death Note?
Death Note? Yeah, I was about to say, is that Death? Why TERFs and transphobes?
So I guess so I haven't watched Death Note the anime, right? But I know what about. I watched the live action Japanese movie, and according to what I know about Shinigami Eyes, you basically what it is like, oh, let's say I really want to kill this person in the Death Note, right? But I don't know their name. So then like Light Yagami would be like, hey Ryuk, can you give me this person's name? Right? And then he's like, do you know this person's name? He's like, yeah, I know it. It's like, can you give it to me? I can give it to you, but I'm gonna cut your lifespan in half. It's like, deal. So
Oh,
if
so he takes the deal in the movie. Okay, I see. Okay, I'll tell. Do you want me to tell you how he does it in the anime?
No, he doesn't do it in the movie.
Okay, he did.
Okay, what does he do in the anime? I didn't watch it.
There's another Death Note in the anime. There's another Death Note holder. She also has her own Death Note, and she took the deal. So he's using her. So he doesn't have to cut his life in half. So he's using her to be able to see.
Oh, the crazy girl.
Yeah.
The crazy blonde girl.
Yeah, in the anime, it's a model girl, a girl who looks up to Light. Then she took the deal.
So he used her for that.
Yep.
Oh, okay. See, I need to watch Death Note, the animated one.
Yeah, it's good. It's great. I binged that one so many times.
Yeah. So basically, this person wants this Ellingson wants Shinigami Eyes, so she can remove TERFs and transphobes. Like if she had the ability, she will do it. So I'm like, wow. So if you basically have a power of a god, you will wipe out like people who don't agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
That, oh, dude.
Yeah.
Well, good thing she doesn't have that. Redux notes, however, that Ellingson was under investigation by the police for stating that male to female transgender women cannot be lesbians or mothers. Were Ellingson to be found guilty, the Norwegian feminist faces up to 3 years in prison. Woof. Touting itself as a truly pro-woman, pro-child safeguarding platform in their about page, Redux also shows Moen's controversial history. They cite the court records they obtained reportedly by involving Moen, though with their names redacted. The records detail an incident where B, presumably Moen, experienced being harassed in the change room by an unknown woman in July 2016, where she was spoken after showering. The alleged incident took place in SIS Sports Center and University of Moen was attending. Oh wow! So this person was like sexually assaulted in in this university. Okay, I can see why this person is so upset. Oh man, this is wild, man. This is wild. But hey, you have all the right to create any games that you want, whether or not people will play it. That'll be whether or not it's up to the people if they want to. A rocket launcher gives multiple foes. What the fuck is Gibbs? I don't even know what that means.
I have no, yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah, so basically you can use rocket launchers to kill priests, guard dogs, and a woman. Yep. It's crazy, man. I think you can make a good game, but something like this one definitely not sell. I don't think something like this would sell at all.
Yeah.
But all right. So all right, you want to talk about Last of Us first or Mandalorian?
Either's okay, but yeah, I only have 2 screens actually because it's basically the DLC. It's DLC in a nutshell. So I don't really have screens in particular. Like
Okay.
the only screens that I saved is the dead drunk guy that came out of nowhere, and and Ellie riding the escalator for the first time. I don't think that was in the game. I don't recall that being in the game. So that's probably one of the best moments is Ellie riding the escalator for the first time.
All right. So yeah. So if that's the case, let's go ahead and talk about The Last of Us episode 7.
Episode
Man,
7, yeah, Left Behind.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna let you go ahead and what did you think about episode 7?
Well, it's overall still kind of below average for me, but I don't like it. It's like the level of not liking it is not as bad as episode 6. I still think episode 6 is the most terrible episode in the series so far, because yeah, it's pretty lackluster. So I already explained in my video review that the game did it better. Like, yeah, for example, there was no random dead guy in the while they were headed to the mall. It's like I felt that was it was kind of really unnecessary. They were even laughing at the body right when it fell down after they got the booze, the alcohol. Yeah, that's really the first thing. That's the first thing they thought. Okay, get his booze. It's like, yeah, it shows a lot of humanity for those two.
So as a person who never played the DLC, how does this differ from the DLC?
Not a lot. They kind of followed it to the letter, especially the part where they played in the arcade. I'm pretty sure the game also showed Mortal Kombat. I think the game kind of showed Mortal Kombat too. So yeah, they followed that. They also followed the part where they went to the photography booth. They followed in the first time that released on the PS3. They actually did a really good marketing tactic for that. It's like whatever pictures you come up with, you can post it on Facebook. It'll generate on Facebook. So that's pretty smart marketing for Naughty Dog for the game. So yeah, I was sure. Yeah, they're 100% gonna put that in. So yeah, it came out. Then the pun book, the pun book where Ellie got it in episode 4. So now you know where she got the pun book. So they also put that in, and yeah, those are the carousel for sure. That's kind of iconic too. And the part where Ellie tells Riley to don't go with the fireflies. That's spot on too. But in the game, it was actually a full radio set, not just Ellie's Walkman. But anyway, they kind of improvised on that part. But yeah, other than that, it's I don't know. I think the game did it better, especially the final parts. Like, I am not sold that it should only just be one infected. It should have been a couple at least for it to build suspense. Anyway, yeah.
So so in my opinion, this episode, like the third episode, felt like a filler, right? And it's like, okay, I'm going to, like, the beginning was important, right? Where like Joel was like, go get out of here. Like I don't remember in the game Joel being that, like, I don't know, he was sort of mean to her.
In the game, do you mean that portion of the story? Because in the game he was completely unconscious. In the TV series, like, he was kind of awake. Like, telling Ellie to.
He was sort of awake, and he shoves her. He's like, "Get away!" Like, and she's like, like you could tell like he's like pissed, and then he goes she like he sort of like cries, a tear comes out, and then she runs away, and then it does the flashback,
Mhm.
right? And in my opinion, I think overall this episode was okay. I think some scenes, like I said, some scenes were shot really nicely. Some scenes were done, like the Mortal Kombat stuff, the escalator stuff. I think that's all fine. But the thing is that we have 2 more episodes. Like I I think that's where it is. Like I said, the last 2 episodes maybe, because like the next one is gonna be pretty big, right? She's gonna be by herself. Joe's gonna be recovering. So you need to show that. Like she basically needs to finish that scene, that part of the game next episode. Like it needs to go super, super fast. Right? You meet up with the person, you kill the deer or whatever, and then you meet up with them, and then you get knocked out. And then Joe goes find her. That needs to all conclude. And then following that, you have to do the whole Fireflies thing. Yeah, the next 2 episodes needs to be like at least an hour and a half minimum.
Mhm.
There's
Yeah.
so much for you to go through, unless you freaking like just
Yeah.
gloss
Yeah.
over a lot of the important
That's
stuff.
also what I said in the reviews. Like, if they really wanted to put in Left Behind, it's like it should have been just relevant flashbacks. Like examples, like since Riley is a newly recruited member of the Fireflies, because
Mhm.
she's apparently very talented, right? It's like example when Ellie was facing off against the would-be antagonist. That's to refrain from the spoilers, right? It's like, for example, Ellie's about to sneak up on a guy. They might as well just flash back to Riley teaching Ellie how to do that. Like
Mhm.
Riley, okay, Ellie, this is how you do it. This is how you sneak up to a guy. Then Riley does it. Then go back to the present day, and Ellie actually does it. That would have given the DLC content more meaning.
Mhm.
Like it would rather, because like it's if you put the flashback in present day, it's not relevant. I don't see the relevance of it. It's like it feels like it's just shoehorned. If they did something like that, it would have been justified why they presented the flashback scene. It's like it taught Ellie how to be better, to be more competent, something like that, somewhere along
Yeah.
that line. Otherwise,
Oh,
it's just a filler episode.
do you have the screenshots?
The screen. Oh, no. The screenshot is just about the. Yeah, it's just about the episode. It's just about the episode.
No,
The
yeah. But what's it called again? All right, no, that there's no worries. But yeah, I think yeah, it was too fast. I think you see her, like you have. I think the whole part in the beginning could have been a lot shorter. Like the part where she's at the gym, she's like running around,
yeah,
and then that girl's like, "Oh, you don't have your friend to back you up," and then she punches her. She talks to that Mr. Kwong guy and gives her back the headset, and then she goes back to her room, and then that's when Riley shows up, right? I think a lot of these things can be a lot of things could have been cut out. I think it was way too long, and I thought that the parts there were some good parts. Uh I think that the whole mall scene was pretty cool. Was pretty good. I did like some of the scenery. I did like the escalator scene. I did like the use of music. I think the Aha Take on Me was nice, and then what's it called again? The other song they use when they're on the carousel, that was nice. And you see like her, you see Ellie looking at Riley, and you can see like she's like, okay, I'm like, you know, I guess quote unquote falling in love with you or something like that. But having that said, I think overall, this episode was not needed, right? But the thing is that
exactly.
like in my opinion, like I see a lot of people online. It's like, oh, but what, you didn't need this. This episode was not needed. It's a filler episode. It's like, oh, this was in the DLC. I'm like, what? That is exactly what filler is. It's like you don't need this part of the story to further the main story.
Yeah, I said the exact same thing in the video. It's It's optional DLC for a reason.
Yeah,
And yeah, it's that's why it's optional. It's not necessary to the main game.
yeah, but like I think the reason why they want this to be very like front and center is because in season 2 of who she meets or who she has already met, or what happens with Abby later on with like all that kind of stuff, and then she, you know, like what's it called again? I wish they did the whole whistling thing. They have not done the whistling thing. I don't think they're going to do it. You know, oh, I didn't know how to whistle or something like that. That's a nice touch. Maybe she's like, oh, and then maybe she goes around, it's like, oh, do you know how to play the guitar, Joe? Yeah, maybe one day I can teach you, right? Because I know that the guitar thing is pretty big in part 2, and it would have been great if they did it that way. Let's see. If you can take it out and it doesn't change the story, it wasn't needed. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Gina Carano as Abby. Oh no, I wouldn't want Gina Carano to play Abby because I didn't like her. I didn't play part 2, but I didn't like her character. And the thing is, I like Gina Carano. Here's the thing. I didn't like slightly less angry Rosie O'Donnell Gina Carano from Deadpool 1, but I do like her character in that movie though. Because that's what Ryan Reynolds called her. You're gonna leave me here with slightly less angry Rosie O'Donnell. She punched the shit out of him. But yeah, let's see. You sent me a Last of Us behind the remake cutscenes, right? Like you said it's about like a minute of footage that we can actually check out.
Yeah, it's like I just wanted to, because they took out that line in particular. I mentioned in my videos, like they took out a favorite line of mine in Left Behind DLC. And that's the line. That's the line that they took out. It's like it's so subtle and very short, but it's the same. It summarizes what the relationship between Abby, sorry, not Abby, Riley and Ellie is in a nutshell. It's like that's why it's like it for me. It's such a powerful short statement compared to the tsundere tough guy Ellie that they are really going for in this show.
Yeah, I think what's it called again? I don't know. Like wasn't there something that came out with the person who played Riley? Like she said that like
yeah, it's like if you don't like it, you're I think
Don't
a
watch.
transphobe. Yeah, don't watch it or you're anti-LGBT, something like that.
well, here's the thing. When was there a last time when someone said don't like it, don't watch, don't like it, don't watch? Like we're gonna do it, right? If you tell us to do it, we're going to do it, right? But let's see. It'll be funny because they would try to do it as an insult, but everyone will be rooting for her. Yeah, but most likely Abby. Well, from how I see it, I think Abby might probably be like the second main character, right after Joel's gone, right? She's gonna be the second main character. I think it's gonna be like you're following 2 stories. It's sort of like who are you gonna be rooting for? The thing is that yeah, you're probably gonna be rooting if Gina Carano did play Abby, you're gonna probably be rooting for her because it's like I team Gina. She said the Frost sentence. Yeah, the Frost. Yeah, if you like it, don't watch. Peace. All right, let's go check out this scene. From
just a minute from the game.
Yes. Okay. Just let me know when to stop.
Yeah. Just a minute. A minute and 10 seconds. A minute.
Double check the audio. Okay, unmute. There it is.
Yeah, this is the game version for those who don't know.
Hey.
Yeah, they were playing water gun. You get to play water gun fight here.
I said it like an asshole, but I totally meant it. You should go. I mean, this is something that you've wanted for, forever, so who am I to stop you?
The one person that can.
Yeah, they took that out. For me, I really like that one.
Please don't go. I'll be so miserable without you.
I see.
I'll be fine.
I know what you're talking about now.
And you'll be fine. And we'll see each other again.
You should keep these.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's actually that's actually a good line, right? The only person that can, right? I think it's sort of like when you have it's sort of like a couple thing, right? When you're talking and you're yelling at each other and you're like I'm going to leave, and then you're like, okay, go leave, right? And then like if you don't stop that person, they're not gonna come back, right? I remember this is an old movie, The Parent Trap, with what's it called again? With Lindsay Lohan, the remake, and it's like the parents they're basically trying to get the parents back together, and then he's like, it's like oh it's like why? It's like you left me. It's like yeah, but you didn't come after me. That's why I left. So the thing is that she wants her to say, I want you to stay. If you say, I'll stay. If you want me to stay, I'll stay. But the thing is like she wants her to be free, right? I don't want to stop you. You can do whatever you want. I want you to be free. So mostly that's what it did. And that would have been a nice touch in the show. But I think it's like, I don't know. They're already packing so much shit and but it's there's going to be a lot of things where they're not going to say is because like, oh, we don't have to do that. We already have
Yeah.
two more episodes and we need to finish the first part. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is the DLC that was apparently optional. Yeah.
Optional.
I believe it's optional. I didn't play it.
Yeah. It's a separate category in the menu. You cannot go through it in the main game. It's like it has its own category. It's optional. They did that.
Let me see. Let's see. Hold on, let me check. I want to see. Yeah, right here. So this is where this is where we were talking about earlier. The Last of Us star hits back at homophobic backlash. If you don't like it, don't watch. Okay, so as the HBO series Last of Us winds down in its first season, the latest installment is drawing the ire of some viewers who are critical of the relationship between Ellie and Riley. The episode 7, titled Left Behind, Ellie reflects on her life after Joel suffers a critical injury in an extended flashback that offers the extended flashback. We didn't need it extended. We just need the theatrical cut. We don't need the Snyder cut.
Yep.
The flashback that offers insight into pivotal moments. She's bitten by one of the infected and discovers she's immune. Like the episode 3 in the series, in which a same-sex relationship is portrayed between the survivalist Bill and Frank, Left Behind chronicles Ellie and Riley's blossoming romance amid the zombie apocalypse. The episode begins with Ellie frantically attempting to save Joe after he was stabbed by a raider, and debating whether to stay or to help him or to leave him behind. Ellie's friendship with her federal roommate Riley is revealed. Riley, who has disappeared, returns to convince her friend to join the rebel Fireflies. The pair steals away to an abandoned mall where they indulge in pre-doomsday activities like riding escalators, carousels, and dancing to music. During Etta James's rendition's "I Got You, Babe," the two share a sweet kiss before the seemingly inevitable happens, where they're both attacked by a zombie. So you mentioned that the game there was multiple zombies.
Yeah, there's a lot. That's why there's this sense of urgency to make a run for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it's just one guy. I mean, these two are already trained, supposedly. They're supposed to be able to take on regular zombies, but apparently, for some reason, this one regular, it's not even a clicker or a bloater. It's just a regular zombie. They couldn't kill, and they both even got bitten for it. It's like it's so, I don't know. It's kind of too exaggerated. That's why I said it's like they kind of really lack manpower for this show. I don't think they didn't have enough budget to hire enough people for it. Like the fields are always so empty, so clean. Then it's always one zombie, four bandits. It's all they really lack more people to be able to make this show work, or at least to portray a post-apocalyptic setting.
Yeah. So to go back to the article, both episode 3 and 7 had led some homophobic backlash. Ramsey and Reed are clapping back at them at the criticism. I know people will think what they think, what they want to think, but they're gonna have to get used to it. The Last of Us star, who identifies as a gender fluid non-binary, told GQ that after being cast for the role of Ellie, She scrolled on social media for reactions and didn't have to look far to find vitriol. You're looking for comments that's more painful than the last. I kid myself that I was doing it in jest. Despite the haters, Ramsey told GQ she's not particularly anxious about it. If you don't want to watch a show just because it has gay storylines, because it has trans characters. Wait, there's a trans character in last. Oh yeah, Abby. Oh shit. That's on you, and you're missing out. So here's the thing: if people who played the games, people would know about it. I don't think that anyone who has played the games would care, right? The only time they would care is if you're straying off the trail, right? If you're not following the story, then I think that's when people will actually care. Reed, who also portrays Gia Bennett in the HBO series Euphoria, agreed, taking Ramsey's statement one step further in a recent interview with Variety. I think Bella put it perfectly a couple of weeks ago. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Reed added that with so many other things to worry about in the world, people being concerned over who other people love is absurd, and thinks that the show's critics are outnumbered by people who appreciate and feel represented and seen and heard. So here's the thing. I think there is a line for being represented, right? So we're like, we want to feel like we're being represented. We want representation. We want this. We want that. I think it's fine, but there is a step too far where you're like, oh, we're gonna have to make sure that we show everyone. We need to show representation for everything. So that's why every movie moving forward, in order for you to be nominated for an Oscars, everyone has to be represented in your production, right? You have to have one of every race, one of every gender. You know, if your person identifies as a helicopter, I better see a fucking helicopter in a production company. And I think that's where it gets insane. I think you don't need that, right? I think long are the days of making just good stuff. Who cares about the color of the skin? Who cares about the people who identify as a specific gender or whatever their sexual orientation is? I think people just are so fixated on this now that just focusing on good story writing, good storytelling is it's gone. And that's why when you have something that's good, but then you go in and say, oh yeah, there are some people online who are saying this. Or if you don't like it, don't watch it then. Fuck you guys. But the thing is that there are a lot of people that probably feel that way, right? But the thing is that because this show is geared towards normies, because if you are a gamer, you would know the story, right?
Mhm.
So that's why when we're like, we know Bill and Frank are gay, we know Ellie is a lesbian, like, right? You sound like such a bigot right now. Yeah, exactly. Imagine wanting just good stuff and not having to shoehorn any of the identity politics, right? Imagine just wanting good stuff.
You bring
Right.
it.
Right. We are on the tightrope of friendship and having a crush, or is it a crush? Is it just a flirtatious energy? There's just so much that goes into the complexity of what the episode is, and furthermore, the complexity of what Ellie and Riley's relationship I find so beautiful. Like so many of the episodes in season 1 of The Last of Us, episode 7 left many viewers torn over another tragic ending to both Riley and Ellie that are bitten by the fungus-infected monster. Though it is not shown, it is implied that Ellie ultimately takes the life of her best friend and burgeoning love. But as far as the controversy over the love story is concerned, Reed told EWs is just nonsense. It's 2023. If you're concerned about who I love, then you need to get your priorities straight. Yeah, the thing is that who cares? Like majority of the time, it's who cares. But it's sort of like if everything that I watch has these, then it's sort of an issue, right? And the thing is that you choose not to watch it. But the thing is that I know a lot of people feel like if you don't watch it, like people at the, I guess it's like a water cooler talk where people hang around at the water cooler and start talking about movies and stuff like that. You're not going to be in the know. And I think that's where the fear of missing out, or like there's nothing for you to connect to your, I don't know, your boss, right? Let's say your boss watches Game of Thrones and you don't, and then everyone who watches Game of Thrones talks to them, then you have a more familiar relationship with your boss, and then you can get promoted that way, right? So I think that's where a lot of people is like, oh, I want to be promoted, so I'm gonna force myself to watch this. But then you're like, oh, I fucking hate this, right?
Yeah,
It's like, oh, you have to watch this movie.
Or you just, if you want the promotion so badly, you're gonna pretend you like it. pretend you like it, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Last time that was said, the show got destroyed within a few months. Yeah. And you also got the time where Elizabeth Banks said, if you don't, if you don't like it, don't watch it. Right. And then same thing with, you got Frost, you have this, you have a bunch of stuff. But the thing is that I think people are already so invested. Like the normies are going to be so invested already. A lot of people who are be like, oh, it's like that in the the DLC. So people are just going to watch it anyways. I think overall, I think the episode, like I said, I think episode's fine. It's just big filler. I think it's just like, it's the story does not change. Knowing the backstory for this is not essential. It's not crucial to the story, and it's just like meh, right? It's just like overall, it's like meh. It's fine. I didn't need to watch this episode, right? But yeah, man. But you didn't get as much hate comments though. you didn't get much. You didn't get
I
any,
really
actually.
think, yeah, I actually think it's because YouTube didn't push it the way episode 6 did.
Mhm.
Like it got disabled. I was like, I didn't even know it was disabled until they told me. It's like, oh wow, the comments were disabled. Okay, I think YouTube kind of rigged it to some extent. That's why I didn't get the exposure. Maybe because of the dislikes of the previous one. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens in this next one.
Yeah, but I think overall, I think I think it's fine. I think it's fine. It's not needed. You can skip it. It's sort of like, do I need to watch episode 7? I was like, no, you don't need to
No.
watch episode 7.
Literally,
it's
no.
not needed. Like episode 3, I would say you just watch the beginning and the end, right? If you want
Yeah,
to know more
yeah.
about Bill, then yeah, you can continue watching it, but you don't need to watch the beginning and the end to get the gist
Yeah.
of the story.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. So all right. So from a person who don't remember, or you said that you binged the entire season 1 and 2 of Mandalorian.
No. Season 2. I didn't go.
Season 2. Okay.
Yeah. See,
So
yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
Honestly, Mando has I don't know. For me, Mando is not as great as people make it out to be, because some people, it's like Mando is super good. It's like, not, I don't know. It's like it's a Star Wars side story. I maybe because I resonated a lot with Andor more, despite the show not performing. It's like,
Mhm.
yeah, hopefully it gets renewed, but yeah, it's kind of in limbo right now. But yeah, it's Mando's like, I don't know. The thing about Star Wars movies, it's like the reason why I'm probably not so into them as many people. It's because it always feels like the main character, it's always, oh, you're the special one. You're so special. You're gonna change the galaxy. You're gonna save the galaxy. It's a trope that's been repeated time and time again. It's like,
Mhm.
that's what I feel. That's what I feel about this, the Mandalorian. It's like, yeah, I mean, Pedro Pascal is good and all the acting is good, but it's like, I'm tired of protagonists being deemed as like the special one, the ultra mega hyper really good person that's gonna change everything. The same day, the same way they put it with Grogu. It's like, yeah, I found out that the name of Baby Yoda is Grogu. It's like,
Mhm.
he's really special. It's like a lot of the episodes in season 2 are so filler that I remember watching it from before, but I wasn't really paying attention to it anymore. Like the spiders and the giant dragon. Was it a dragon in the start of season 2? A lot of it were like filler episodes. And
Yeah.
the ending with Gideon, with Giancarlo Esposito, it's like, I don't know, I felt it's kind of generic in my opinion. It could have
Mhm.
been much better. Could have been that's the reason why I'm gonna compare it to Andor a lot. Andor
Mhm.
is because it's the life of the ordinary people and how frightening the Empire actually is. It's, for me, Andor
Mhm.
does the best job in terms of showing how frightening and why people are so afraid of the Empire compared to all the other shows that I've seen for Star Wars. It's actually
Mhm.
Andor that made me more invested in Star Wars than anything, because it's so grounded and it shows the perspective of an ordinary person trying to live out their lives compared to like the special people. You're the best Jedi there is. You're the best warrior there is. It's like, I'm kind of tired of that, honestly. It's okay. it's okay, but it's I don't know. I feel like Star Wars is such a rich and big universe that there's you can do so much more than just bringing in people who are special. That's how I
Mm.
feel, and yeah, that's about it.
So going back to your thing, it's sort of like, oh, you don't you don't get like, okay, yeah, it's like, okay, I get like, man, everyone loves Mandalorian, but it's not that good, right? Like that's your initial take from it.
Mm.
So the reason why I feel like people are like, wow, this actually feels like Star Wars is because we've got the sequel trilogy stuff, right? I watched The Force Awakens. There's a lot of nostalgia bait. Tons of nostalgia bait. It's literally a New Hope written again. And then you have The Last Jedi, which is absolutely atrocious. And then how they sort of like butchered a lot of characters. And then you have I didn't watch the Rise of Skywalker, which is the last sequel trilogy, but according to what I heard, it's pretty bad. But it's just a lot of MacGuffins, a lot of things they tried to fix, but the damage has already been done. There's been a lot of bad Star Wars, and then finally you got something that is like pretty good. People were like, "Let's go, let's go!" You know, finally something that actually feels like Star Wars. Finally, a breath of fresh air. And they did the whole like I think they did season 1 of Mandalorian. I think it was pretty well done. I think if it wasn't for Baby Yoda or Grogu, it wouldn't have been as as big as it was,
Mhm.
right? And like I had a lot of okay, here's the thing. My wife not not uh not Star Wars fans at all. Like I said, she doesn't know the difference between Star Wars and Star Trek. She only knows one of them has lightsabers. Um when I was like, let's watch Mandalorian, right? Since this is a new thing and everyone's talking about it. The reason why she got really into it was because of Baby Yoda. And that's where it got a lot of the girls to being into Star Wars, right? Because Star Wars is more of a geek, nerdy kind of thing, back in the day. The only reason why you liked it was because of, you get lasers and space and Princess Leia. And then it didn't really attract any of the women. Like a lot of girls didn't really like it, right? And then you brought in Baby Yoda, and like, oh shit, and that's when people started liking it, and then you brought in the Porgs or something like that, something cute that the girls could like. And that's where I got a lot of normies, where I got like a lot of attention, and it was done tastefully by Jon Favreau. Season 2, yeah, there was a couple of filler stuff. I did like a lot of the Cara Dune stuff from season 1 and season 2. I did like the was it Bill Barr scene? The Bill Burr, not Bill Barr, Bill Burr. I think that scene was really well done. But the thing is that like Giancarlo Esposito with the black saber or with the black lightsaber or whatever, I think that was cool. But the thing is that after that I didn't watch any um the Book of Boba Fett. I did not watch that. I did not watch the freaking other shows that ties into it. That's why I'm like, huh, when when did when did Grogu go back with Mandalorian?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
was like, when did that happen?
Yeah,
When did that happen?
it's like
So
they're banking on it so much. Like yeah, they're gonna. It's like the end of season 2 implied that he was gonna go. It's like nah, I'm not convinced. They're gonna 100% bring him. But lo and behold, episode 1 of season 3, he's there
yeah,
again.
so
We don't even know why yet.
yeah, but like according to what I know, like Grogu trained with Luke Skywalker, and somehow he ended up back with Mandalorian. But yeah, yeah, it's funny that Cara Dune is trending over Mandalorian. Yeah, the thing
Yeah,
is
she
that,
is.
and the thing is that I was like, okay, watching the first episode, how are they gonna do her dirty, right? How are they gonna write her off? And then they're like, oh, she now she's part of special operations. She's gone. And then Moff Gideon and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, that's
Yeah,
it. It's such a
yeah,
like a brush off the show. It's like, oh, who cares? I was
yeah,
like, that
exactly.
sucks.
Yeah,
Like
it
they
sucks.
mentioned her once, and then they're like, okay, let's brush her off. I'm like, that sucks.
Yeah, same with Moth, but I think it's because yeah, I think Gian is expensive to maintain. I don't know, but yeah, they just brush him off after for 2 seasons. He's the main villain. I think
Yeah,
he was kind of weak.
yeah. Let's see. I think Baby Yoda is the weakest part of Mandalorian. I think. I think they wanted to. I think the reason why they brought in the Grogu or Baby Yoda, I think they wanted to tie into the Jedi lore. Like they need someone from the Jedi, and plus they needed to sell money. Not sell money. They needed to sell merch. Yeah, he's basically merch candy. Like how much merch did they sell? How much like I remember when me and my wife we went to Disney. I forgot the last time whatever. We went to Galaxy's Edge, and there were a bunch of like girls like buying like the expensive like $80 like mini backpack that had like Grogu on it. I'm like $80 for a backpack with Baby Yoda, and then people buying Baby Yoda phone cases, people buying Baby Yoda shirts. I'm just like, okay, dude, it's sort of like it's everywhere. And the thing is that like, and then the Funko Pops, and then they're like $15 a pop, and I'm just like, okay, you know what? I don't care. I don't care about Baby Yoda. I just want more cool Mandalorian shit, and that's why what's it called again? I do like that. I forgot that robot in end of. I think what's the end of season
season 1, I think. I think it's
that robot ended up killing everyone.
Yeah,
that part was dope, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Are you a fan of bringing him back in season 3? Because it's implied that he's gonna come back, right?
Well, they did try to bring him back, right? Didn't they try to like revive him?
I'm pretty sure that he will be later on. So that's what they're implying. It's like you need to get this particular part so that we can bring him back. I don't know, it kind of defeats his sacrifice in season 1. I forgot how it ended, but I know he sacrificed to save everyone else. It kind of defeats the purpose for me. It's like, yeah, I get it that robots can come back if you put in assemble the correct parts, but it defeats the purpose. It defeats the purpose of it defeats the meaning, how meaningful that scene was, that he sacrificed himself for the team. That's what I think. If you're going for that angle of the story, just to bring him back.
Yeah. If you didn't watch the Book of Boba Fett, you would have been confused. Oh, so that's where. Yeah, I heard that was supposed to be like what Mandalorian season 2.5. It was like
it was supposed to be kind of a spin-off, but I know it didn't good. It wasn't well received.
Yeah, and same thing with what's it called again? Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah, I heard that one wasn't good. Yeah, it's better. Yeah, it's better than making her die.
Yeah,
a traitor, like I was thinking. Yeah, true.
Yeah, for sure.
True, yeah. Sure. It's like, imagine if they're like, oh yeah, her ship blew up, and because an asteroid hit her ship or something like that, right?
Yeah,
like that would have been really bad. Like I'm glad they didn't do that, is because that's what they did with Admiral Akbar. Like they killed him off off screen in an explosion in The Last Jedi. So I'm glad they didn't do that. Yeah, the assassin droid. Yeah. I do like the assassin droid, but that assassin droid scene, I actually loved it. Like when that droid, like half the body was like crawling, like, and they're like, oh shit, and they try to shoot it. Do you know why I love that scene? Because it reminded me of this scene right here. Because that part reminded me of this scene right here. This scene right here from Terminator 1.
Oh, Terminator.
This is from Terminator 1, from the 80s. So like this reminded me of that. It's like, oh shit, the robot is still fucking moving, like get the fuck out of there. And it sort of reminds me, it's sort of like a horror movie. I'm like, oh, that's just awesome. I actually really like that scene a lot. So but yeah, it was great. I think also I also really like the opening scene where they're like baptizing that kid.
Yeah, I thought it was actually it was Pedro Pascal's past. It's just a newly recruited kid. I thought it was it was a flashback how he became a Mandalorian. It's a new kid. Never mind.
Yeah. Like I was like, what's this baptism thing? Like they're gonna sing and then they're gonna baptize, follow the Son of the Holy Ghost and put the helmet on, and then all of a sudden the giant like alligator thing came. I thought I thought that was pretty cool. I thought the fight scene was pretty cool, and I also thought that was pretty cool. What's it called again? The part that sort of made me laugh was when who Carl Weathers, who's that guy, the magistrate or something like that?
Yeah.
When he came out, he's so regal looking, and there's like two tiny ass droids holding his robe up. It's like two tiny like droids are like the size of like 5 inches, literally holding his robe, so make sure it doesn't drag on the floor. That shit made me laugh. But yeah, did you like the episode though compared to like season 2?
It's all right. It's all right. I mean, yeah, I mean, I liked it better than the Last of Us, but yeah,
Mhm.
it's okay. But yeah, like what I said earlier, the show as a whole, it's like it's a ordinary Star Wars spin-off story. It's like they're playing it too safe, in my opinion. They're playing it too safe. Like I feel bad for Andor. It's like they really stepped up, in my opinion, for that show. It's just
Mhm.
that, yeah, Star Wars has such a bad reputation now that people overlook Andor, which is a real shame. It's like I would have wanted more stuff like Andor, where they took
Mhm.
more risks with not it's not the special person anymore. It's just like just some regular dudes and actual relatable plot lines. That's what I
Mhm.
feel about Mando.
Yeah, I I thought the episode was okay.
Mhm.
I think the part, so you have the beginning scene, which is pretty cool. Then you have him, uh, Mandalorian. Mando shows up with Baby Yoda, and then he goes to meet the magistrate, and he talks to the little goblin dudes. I forgot their name. Um, and then like he's like, "Oh, we got to have a drink in this place." He's like, "No, that's a school now. It's not a bar."
Mhm.
And then he's like, "But I want to have a drink in there." No means no. Boom. I'm gonna shoot you. And then he kills. And then they all kill his buddies. And of course, he lets them escape, which is always a dumb thing to do. I hate when they do that. I was like, he's gonna come back, right?
Yeah.
Like, do you not know that? Oh yeah, we're gonna let one live, right? Because if you let one live, they're gonna go and like the only reason why you would let one live is you would send a message, which is maybe what the
Yes.
magistrate wanted, right? Send a
Yeah.
message. You guys are not welcomed here anymore. But the leader of that bad guy group that was in the space, he looks like this
Yeah.
moss man. He looks like algae.
Yeah. It
Oh,
kind
it's
of looks
funny.
like that enemy in Ocarina of Time, the one that shoots seeds.
He also sort of reminded me of Swamp Thing, like a really like Chinese knockoff of Swamp Thing from DC Comics. That was funny.
Yeah, kinda.
Let's see. Um, I didn't watch the first episode. Mando suddenly missed every shot he took. Yeah, he was. I don't know. He only misses the shot where they need him to miss the shot. It's sort of stupid. Yeah. Booming Bob say if they did a disservice to Cara Dune, the vast majority would have been pissed. Oh yeah, I think if they did that, like Twitter would be lighting up.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but let's see. Concerning baby baptism, you shouldn't wet babies; they wet
They went
themselves.
themselves.
Let's see. Yeah, Swamp Thing. Yeah, Swamp Thing. But um, I think overall the episode's fine. I think it's I here's the thing. I still I still need to watch the last two episodes of Andor.
Yeah,
I didn't finish it.
it's all right. It's all right too. But yeah, I didn't make reviews anymore back when we were
Mhm.
we stopped doing the podcast for a while. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's all right. I had nothing special to say about it. That's why I probably wasn't motivated to make a VOD out of it anymore.
Mhm.
But yeah, I hope that gets renewed and they try to do more things with it. But yeah, it's on Limbo. Especially they actually showed it on other streaming services just to boost the viewership, which is yeah, it's not
Oh
a good
yeah.
sign.
What other stuff was it on? Like what
Yeah,
other streaming service? Oh, it was
they
on
showed on
Hulu, right?
yeah, Hulu. They showed it on
Yeah.
Hulu just to boost the viewership. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Watch Puss in
Yeah. It's
Boot.
like it's like what did they say it? They call it like the best show you're not watching or something.
Yeah, yeah. It's like I don't know. Fingers crossed they try to push it, but
Mhm.
I don't know. Given that they went that far to push it to other streaming services, it's
Mhm.
not a good sign.
Oh man. Let's see. Lost Sales. Watch Puss in Boots instead. It's better character development. I heard. I
Yeah, I've
heard.
heard the last one was really good.
Yeah, True also slapped Disney. Yo, the thing is that like I think Disney is just like they like I mentioned, like other than Marvel and DC, I'm not the Marvel and DC, Marvel and Star Wars. Like, what else do they have? Right? They have and Mandalorian, right? What else do they have? I don't like. They're literally running out of like new ideas, right? It's because if you look at it, you're getting Zootopia 2, you're getting Frozen 3, and you're getting like something else. Like everything is a sequel now. Like is there something that Disney is coming out with like that it's not a sequel, right? And I don't think there is. Like and if there is, it's like, you know, it's by Pixar, right? I'm talking about like Disney proper. Like Disney is known for buying out other like companies to work for them, right? First was Pixar, and then you get Marvel, and then you get Star Wars. So what else are they going to be doing? And like they're regurgitating all of these live action stuff. You already have Little Mermaid that's going to be coming out in a couple months. Peter Pan going directly into Disney Plus, right? I'm pretty sure they're going to have a Pocahontas or some kind of like freaking I don't know, like Hercules or something like that. And you know, if they do a live action Pocahontas, you know, they're gonna kill off John Smith like right
John
away.
Smith.
Yeah, it's like, oh, but you know, they're not real characters. Yes, John Smith and Pocahontas were real people. You know, they're actual real people. But let's see. Disney is single-handedly destroying their own IPs. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think they don't know what to do now. I think a lot of the actual creative heads of Disney are worried about something else. Like the actual people who are actually good at their job, they're worried about something else, or they're no longer working there. And now you have all these people who are people my age coming into the fold, working for them, bringing, oh, we should put more of these garbage here. We should make this person, you know, freaking, you know, how about instead of making a character black, make them like Asian, make them like Hispanic or something, right? Like Peter Pan going from white to Indian, I'm fine with it, right? If you made him black, that would have been pretty bad, right? So it's, I don't know. I feel like they're doing that with a lot of characters that we really, really like.
Yeah. Like if they're really pushing for that diversity, just write a new story about them. Write a new story that's, you don't need to be loud. Oh, it's because I'm Asian, that's why I'm so good. You don't need to do that. You just write an original Asian character who's actually they go through the journey. They're not just suddenly incredibly genius or incredibly powerful, like what they're doing with the recent Marvel films, like with Riri. What's her name? Riri Williams. Like she's just a sudden genius. Because I watched Wakanda Forever recently on Disney Plus. Like, yeah, it doesn't really justify why she's good. It's just suddenly she's good. It's like she has this amazing garage lab and everything.
Yeah, she's just the bestest ever.
Yeah.
Right. See, and if you actually go back to go look at the what's it called again, the trailer for Little Mermaid, it still has 1.2 million likes and 3.5 million dislikes. Right, comments are still turned off. 27 million views. The thing is that like and the thing is that Little Mermaid, there is a black mermaid in let's see, Little Mermaid. Let me see if they have the cartoon. Like, there's actually, oh my god, they're just showing the character. Let's see, but yeah, she actually has a black mermaid friend, I believe. But the thing is that now, if you just Google it, all you see is the Black Little Mermaid. You don't actually see any of that anymore, right? Like, I just Google Little Mermaid, Black Mermaid friend. All you see is actual like the Little Mermaid. You don't see the actual. Oh, there it is, right here. Boom, she's right there.
Oh, there. Okay, there we go.
Yeah. Like, why can't you just have a black? No, we got to make the main character. We're going to change up that shit. Right? The Little Mermaid, Ariel meets an African mermaid from the Ivory Coast. This is because mermaids are fictional and can be black. Yes. There you go. Yeah. But the thing is that Ariel wasn't it from like Danish like lore or something like that? It's like from a long time ago. So why like you already have this character. You already made a black mermaid. Why do you need to change up the main one? Like I'm wondering. I'm just asking why, right? You can do it, but I'm just asking what was the reason. I don't know. It's just they're literally running out of ideas. Like, okay, it's, you know, they're gonna meet like, I don't know, Meet the Robinsons or something like that. Like, the thing is that do you know who they should have casted her as? Tiana from Princess and the Frog.
Yeah.
You want someone who's actually black from the Bayou and like with actually like a lot of like Southern lore and you know, from Louisiana. She should have been Tiana. they're already swapping out Splash Mountain for what's it called again? Princess and the Frog, like Tiana's thing. Like, make a movie about it, hype that shit up. That you could have done that, right? Instead, they have to freaking change up some shit, right? This is from the area of the Little Mermaid TV show. I don't know. It sucks, man. Hey, Grae, what is your favorite Disney movie? Like, what is your favorite Disney movie? Like, if it's like
Favorite
cartoon
Disney.
animated.
I think it would have to be Mulan. Though it's because people are gonna say it's because it's because I'm Asian, I'm Chinese. But yeah, I think Mulan kind of resonated with me a lot because arguably it's because probably because I'm Asian that I could relate more to the culture, how they implemented the culture in Mulan. But yeah, I haven't seen the new one, the live action one, but I don't think I want. I don't think I want to.
Oh, it's bad, dude.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
bad. It's it pissed me off. Like,
yeah.
first of all, what's it called again? You're like, okay, this is gonna be a more serious, more realistic, what's it called again? Mulan, right? I'm like, okay, realistic and true to the source material. I was like, first of all, Mulan better be ugly, right? Mulan better be butt ugly, is because that's how she was able to pass as a man, right? The thing is that, first of all, and then you see that trailer, you're like, okay, that girl's way too pretty, right? She's way too pretty. She cannot pass as a man, right? Second of all, you got to have Mushu, right? You can be Eddie Murphy, because you can't be a shame on you, a shame on your cow. You cannot have that. You got to have those, and you got to have reflection, right? If any song, okay, my favorite song of Disney's all-time favorite song is "Make a Man Out of You." That's my favorite song all time. No ifs, ands, or buts. But Mulan's song, when you think of Mulan, you don't think of "I'll Make a Man Out of You." You think of reflection, right? And I talked about this before. Like, Mulan's song "Reflection" was such like a sort of like such a big story, right? Like, every girl who watched Mulan, that song came out, and every girl was like, "That song is about me. That song is about me. Yeah, I can't be the perfect daughter," right? The thing is that it's so important, and of course they didn't have that. Okay, you took out Mushu. They changed up the end of the story. They made her like a freaking superhero. It's because she had chi. She's basically freaking Captain Marvel. And there's a scene where she was like running, and all of a sudden she's behind the enemies. Like, did she freaking teleport or something? Right? And then what's it called? The they don't have make a man out of you. She doesn't have a love interest anymore, right? It's because and then they basically turned the emperor into like a piece of shit, right? And then you go back and watch the original. You're like, okay, so why did they remove it, right? You're saying that you want this to be realistic. Why is there a weird phoenix floating in the background? Why is there a weird ass witch that turns into 1,000 bats, right? And you can have Mushu. So it's like, it was super weird. And then then you think about it. I'm like, Mulan is the epitome of sort of like in a way of making like strong woman character stories, right? The whole character montage. And that's why that movie it's good, is because it actually shows that, okay, yeah, if you work hard and you work smart, you can actually do what you need to do. And they completely ruined everything, man. I'm pissed.
Yeah.
I'm still pissed. Yeah, they had a tune of the reflection, but it was short. Yeah, I wouldn't count that, right? It's sort of like it has, but like she needed to sing it, but I'm pretty sure that Chinese girl can't sing. And then yeah, removing Shang was the worst crime. Yeah, absolutely. And the part, what's another iconic part of Mulan, right, Grae? Do you remember the part? Like if you think about it, like right before she actually joins the military, like, do you, in your opinion, do you know which part was like iconic to you, like in terms of scenery or image?
For me, it's her climbing the, what do you call this, the pole.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because it was she was working really really hard to be better, right? So it's like for me that's one of the best parts, like when everyone was coming out of their tents, they see she's about to make it to the top. That's also one of the stuff that's I find iconic. But before she joins the army, a lot of them are pretty iconic too, actually. Like how she got rejected for not being too womanly enough, stuff like that. I also kind of felt that, like, you don't fit into the culture norms, what's wrong with you, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
One part for me is when she grabs her father's sword and she cuts off her hair. I think that's one. She literally cuts off her, like that part was like, because of what makes you feminine, right? Back in ye olden Chinese days, right? It's long hair. Of course, men back then have long hair too, because they didn't. But like for her, one big thing was her like cutting off her hair. I remember that part was like pretty important. And then of course she doesn't cut off her hair at all. And it's just, and of course they removed the whole sense of like, her talking to her ancestors, is because, oh, that's hokey baloney stuff. That thing isn't real. Right. Let's see right here. Say they're making a live action Lilo and Stitch.
I didn't even know that.
Sad. A classic cartoon that will be ruined by another stupid live action remake. So yeah, I heard about that. And I think the reason why they're doing it and how they're doing it, I know Stitch is gonna look good, is because of how they did Detective Pikachu. I think that's how they're gonna make Stitch look like. But the thing is, I don't think Nani is gonna have a love interest with David. She's probably, and they're probably gonna swap out David for another woman. They're probably most likely, and I know that Zach Galifianakis was actually cast as a role in Lilo and Stitch. I don't know who he's gonna be. So Zach Galifianakis, right? Did you watch Hangover?
I watched Hangover, but I forgot who he is in there.
He's the fat guy, the fat one with the beard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he is basically cast as one character. I'm assuming he might be cast as Peakley, which is the one-eyed guy. The alien that talks like this. Oh my god, Hawaii, no mosquitoes.
Okay.
Right. So the thing is, I think he might. I'm not sure. Right. You need that. You need Jamba. You need and the fact that they're showing this in Hawaii, they're gonna be filming this in Hawaii. I just don't know. I think they're gonna change out a lot of stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
It's gonna suck because I do really like. We just watched Lilo and Stitch again. Like me and my wife, we watched it like 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I actually need to watch that again too. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Just rewatching it again. Yeah, cutting her hair. Yeah, cutting her hair is very important. Yeah, in Mulan for me. Yeah. Let's see. From what I knew, was it based off of mythology or legend? Mulan. Mulan's a real person. Mulan was a real person. She was based off of a real person. I'm not sure the actual story was that crazy, where she actually saved China, but there was an actual person that actually dressed up and took her dad's position in the military. Let me double check. Because I know it was told from me to me a long time ago when I was a kid. The real story of Mulan. Let's see. But I'm not sure. They said there was a person, but I'm not sure if it was like it was not exactly 1-to-1 from the story though. Like what you saw.
Yeah.
It's like
Most
it's a lot
likely.
simple.
Yeah.
Let's see. Stitch will look at the first release of Sonic. yo, we already have it. Let's see. I'm gonna put an ugly Sonic. I'm gonna put that in. The first thing that shows up is, oh my god, the first thing that shows up is this. Yeah, so basically, you don't need to make Lilo and Stitch in 3D. We already have one. I think this is from the Chippendales movie. Yeah, we already have one. we don't need it. We have Stitch at home. That's the story. But yeah, yeah, they're all going to be non-binary. Probably. Yeah, cutting the hair also used to symbolize change. Yeah, yes, especially for women, right? But yeah, that's 100% true. But yeah, speaking of Little Mermaid, they already ruined the story. Do you know why? Because they already they already have Sebastian. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah, Sebastian.
This is the Sebastian. This is the Sebastian.
Gosh.
Oh man, that's a Sebastian. Of course, you're gonna have a dun 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 dun, right? But and according to what I heard, they might have casted Scuttle, which is the seagull, but it's gonna be played by Aquafina, which is, oh god, I hate her voice. She has such an annoying voice. You watched Shang-Chi and the 10 Dick Rings, right? It's the female, the annoying female.
Ah, I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I heard
okay.
she's gonna be cast as Scuttle. I'm not sure that's 100%
Yeah,
true.
I can understand. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, her voice can really come off that way.
Yeah. Oh man, but yeah, like, so you have this, and Flounder is actually gonna look like a tiny ass fish. It's gonna be so stupid, man. It's gonna be so stupid. And the thing is that the movie doesn't look great, right? The movie the movie CGI doesn't look great. See, I'm just gonna put in new. The thing is that, like, I'm looking at the effects of the Little Mermaid for the what's it called again? Like the underwater scenes, they look awful. Like they look god awful. Let me see Little Mermaid trailer. Let me look at the Little Mermaid trailer, the most recent one. Right, I'm share this one here.
Yeah, I
Right,
haven't
so
seen the
guys,
latest one.
so I heard mostly the same.
Yeah, the
Right,
reception's
I
the
heard it's
same.
mostly the same. But if you actually look at it, it's like it doesn't look
It's-
that great, right? Like I didn't watch like this doesn't look like she's underwater. That's Flounder. Oh my god, man. That's awful. It's just a stupid ass fish.
Yeah, it's just a normal fish.
Oh man, no, they did how they massacred your baby boy. He was my favorite as a kid. Yeah, that's actually a Flounder, chat, right here. Yo, that's Flounder. Yeah, so this is the part she goes in and she finds the fork, right? The dingo hopper. She goes in, right? So the thing is that, like, the water effects are garbage, right? The fact that you have, okay, I didn't watch Avatar in the Way of Water, but I seen images of it, right? So let's see. Let me see underwater. Look, like let's actually go and look at this. So you see what you see on the screen, and then you take a look at. Of course, this is during the day, right? And you look at this underwater film. This actually feels like you're underwater.
Yeah.
I don't know, like the underwater scenes. Like, do you know why it actually feels like it's underwater? Because they fucking filmed it underwater. They actually filmed it underwater. So if you didn't know, they rented out a 3-story like building in Manhattan Beach down here in California. And what they did was they filled it up, the entire thing up with water. So what they did, okay, I'm giving you inside news, inside scoop, okay?
Inside info.
Big thickums. So what happened was that how I knew all of this before, like back in 2018, was a close friend of mine. He used to be a costume set dresser for what's it called again? Avatar 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. Avatar 2, starting from Avatar 2. And he said that, like, he would go there every day and he works there. So what happens is that he actually goes inside the pool. They actually jump all the way from the top and they dive really, really deep with an underwater IMAX camera. And the reason why they wanted to do it is because they wanted to make sure you can swim without bubbles. Right? So you can swim so there's no bubbles, or at least a minimal least bubbles as possible. So if these bubbles, these might be like, these are all added afterwards, but all the effects and stuff like that, like they're trying to make sure that people are swimming properly underwater. right? The thing is that this is owned by Disney now. This is a Disney property, right? And you have fucking Batman over here, Kate Winslet, like she's actually swimming underwater, and you have like this underwater scene over here, and it's so great, and I'm pretty sure they spent a shit ton of money on it. But the thing is that you're Disney. How is your water scene so trash, right? How is it so look, this is more during the day, right? How is it so awful? And of course everyone is black because King Trident has I'm pretty sure he's black as well, right? So this is during the day, and you have right, you have this one over here. I'm gonna share this one over here. Watch, see, this one's during the day, and it's look you could tell, especially this one over here. This one looks like it's like green screened like to the max, right? It doesn't look real. Of course, like yes, you can have people who you can't afford mermaids or something like that. But did you know back in the day in 30,000 Leagues Under the Sea at Disney Disneyland in California, they actually had a
Got disconnected there.
oh, no worries. They actually have what's it called again? I think the launch of 30,000 Leagues Under the Sea, the submarine ride at Disneyland, they actually had real life mermaids underwater. Like they actually learned how to swim like a mermaid. Why can't you hire actual people who knows how to swim like a mermaid instead of animating them in 3D and looking like shit? This looks really bad. This looks like someone's like graduation portfolio. Right? Yeah. Her eyes are going separate ways. Yeah, yeah, her eyes are sort of far apart. The actress's eyes. Yes, it's sort of weird. Yeah. So Flounder doesn't even look like that on the cartoon. Where's her bright
colors,
colors? Yeah. Yeah. This was James Cameron. Yeah. So James Cameron is like a visionary, right? He's like a crazy guy that like pushes the boundaries. But yeah. Yeah. Yeah, as the great Eric July would say, this is dead on arrival. Yeah. I would say it's not gonna do well. I would say this movie is probably not going to be released in China.
Yeah.
And you already know why.
Yeah.
You already know why. But yeah, the Way of Water, like I haven't seen it. I really want to see it. I probably won't be able to see it in the theaters, but like this looks it looks great. Like, I'm just looking at the like how they filmed it. Like looks crazy. But yeah, man. I'm sad. I'm sad. Like what happened with Disney?
Yeah.
Like all of Disney whenever back in I'm not sure, do you feel the same way? Like back in when you hear Disney, you're like, oh shit, it's Disney.
Yeah, you know it's gonna be good to a certain degree. It's like you're gonna enjoy whatever they put up, whether it's the visuals or the song or the story. Oh, it's the magic is gone. It's like all for that ESG. The ESG index is so important for them for some reason. It's that important then that they're willing to throw so much away.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he already did say that probably. He did. Yeah, he made a video.
Yeah, there's a
about
video,
it.
but I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah. But yeah, man. You looking forward to next Saturday?
Next Saturday.
For next Sunday for you. Next Sunday for you. Next
Yeah,
Saturday for me.
More Last of Us and Mando. And yeah,
No,
it's probably good.
I would say next week we're gonna try to like we can talk about Mandalorian and like Last of Us, but we're gonna try most of it is gonna be we're gonna be talking chat, if you didn't know, Jay from Drunk 3PO will be here. Yeah, he's gonna be live with us next Saturday. It should be 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and he'll be with us on the podcast or the stream, and we're gonna be talking about his book. We're gonna be talking about the stuff that he does. It's more gonna be more about him because I watched one of the interviews with him. Not interviews, but he was on another person's podcast. I think it was like a Muppets, like a bunch of Muppets were talking to him. So it was pretty funny. Yeah, the Fallen Kingdom. Yeah. If Triton is black, they're screwing with Greek mythology. Isn't he supposed to be related to Neptune? I guess, but the thing is that this is like they're already changing up a lot of stuff. right? I don't know. Maybe Ariel is like biracial or something, and then the dad is white. But as of right now, we know that it's gonna be trash. We know it's gonna be dead on arrival. I think Marvel, Disney, Star Wars, like it's not looking well for them. Like if you
Yeah.
actually even know, like I guess the Marvels, the Captain Marvel 2 was supposed to come out during the summer, but they pushed it back to November, right? So
Yeah.
why is that? I'm pretty sure because of a bunch of reshoots or something.
Yeah.
But
And now it's competing with another thing. There's something that's gonna come out before it. It's also in November. I forgot what it was. It's like there's also another big film I think that's gonna compete with it. So that's gonna put it even worse. It's in a worse position. I forgot what it
yeah,
is.
man.
I would think chat would know. There's another movie that's gonna come out alongside it.
Yeah, I guess. See, the one thing that I can't stand is when they do stuff to history. Like, man, just make your own stuff. Yeah. Um, it's. I think that's where, like, that's what they used to say to people who were, I guess, more like agreeing to what we agree with, right? So like, we just want cool stuff. Stop ruining the classics, right? And it's what's it called again? It's sort of like what Chris Tucker said when that Chinese guy was singing the Michael Jackson song. He goes, "Boo! You're ruining classics," right? So it's yeah, it's and that's what we're doing now, right? Not me, but like a lot of people who have the ability to do it, like you know Young Ripa, Eric July, and us at least talking about it, showing about we're not okay with what culture is doing. People from Daily Wire are what's PragerU, they're starting their own stuff. Like, I believe if it's possible and in your power to do something, make your own new stuff, they should. And I know Disney is like, oh, we're just reusing our own brand, and we're reusing our own intellectual property. But the thing is that, like, you're sort of erasing or replacing what used to be good with something that's now shitty, right? The Sword in the Stone remake scares me. Is that a for sure thing? They're gonna change that shit up. It's gonna be a black kid, guaranteed. The main character is gonna be a black. Or King Arthur is gonna be black, right? Merlin, it's probably going to be some kind of it's probably going to be white, and he's probably going to be wrong all the time, right? And when they get turned into squirrels, most most likely uh there won't be a thirst trap squirrel that you feel sad for. I I believe it is. Oh no. Oh
Yeah,
no.
they'll probably touch whatever they haven't touched yet, just so they can release new content. That's how I see it.
Do you remember what that channel YouTube channel is where you okay, I think he actually posted it on his let me check. Let me check for you really quick. Yeah, he posted it on his Twitter where he says, "Oh, I'm gonna be here today." I think I think he was interviewed like earlier this week. So let me see. Let me go ahead and get that for you. But yeah, it's wild though. That show was funny. That show was funny. Let's see, not that one. Not that one. 4 days ago. I don't see it. I don't see. I thought he posted it on. I think he might have deleted it. Oh, it might not. It might be on Discord actually. Let me actually check. But yeah, it was wild, man. I guess like because typically I'm assuming whenever you bring on a guest, you're usually like interviewing them, right? But they did this like questions like they started asking who would win in a fight or something like that. It was wild. It was great. It was definitely wild. Let me see if I can find it. He said that he'll be here. Uh, I don't see it. I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it right now. Oh, here it is. Here it is. It's called I'll post it in the chat. I'll post it in the chat.
Yeah, post in the chat.
Okay, so this is I'll post the actual video where he was interviewed in the chat. There you go. So that was the video where he was interviewed. Yeah, it was actually pretty funny. It's definitely different from his original stuff. Yeah. Let's see. Oh man. That's right. I worked creating an entire universe on my own. There should be no reason as to why Disney is not capable of doing it. Yeah, true. Oh no, Merlin will be a transgender panda with one leg who sleeps.
Not
Oh,
far
man.
fetched.
That's so crazy. That's so crazy. Yeah, a black kid is the 13th century Great Britain. You know, I don't know. I have a feeling that's what they're gonna do. They're either here's what they're gonna do. They're either going to race swap one of the characters, like one of the main characters, or they're gonna gender swap one of the characters, or the character is going to be a non-binary character or transgender. It's gonna be one of those. Oh, Disney is actually making the first transgender King Arthur. Right? They're probably gonna do something like that.
Yeah.
And I expect them to do it. Right? So I don't know. I hope they don't. I really hope they don't. But yeah. But man, all right, chat. I think we're gonna call it there. But yeah, next week again, we are going to be having Drunk 3PO on. So I'll be here at 6 Pacific Standard Time, 9 o'clock 9 o'clock Eastern, and then it should be 10 a.m. Philippine
10
time.
a.m. Yeah.
But you want to give a couple of shout outs for yourself, or you want to go over your socials?
Oh yeah. Discord should be in the description already. Yeah, we have a Discord already, so we're looking for people to jump in. But okay, let me put it here. Oh, wait, no, I didn't paste correctly. Let me. let's
Arthur
open
is
that.
now Queen Elizabeth.
There we
Oh,
go. Yeah,
man.
so we now have a Discord, and we also
Oh, man.
have. Yeah, I also set up a Twitch account for Project Eggroll. Okay, let me copy this. Yeah, so yeah, I'm working on The Last of Us Part 2 review now. Now that my Persona 3 video in my main channel is complete. So yeah, the link is also in the description below. Because yeah, I'm quite proud of the Persona 3 video. Because I've been told it's the best one I've made. So yeah, it's there. Then my Twitch is also below, which is at Greyblade. Then that's about it for me.
All right, and you can find me mostly anywhere at just Google Mr. Philip Chan or whatever. It should pop up. If you find another Philip Chan, he's probably a Hong Kong actor, so that's not me. But yeah, they already made Morgana in the Merlin show Black. Yep, man. But anyways, thank you guys again. We will be back next Saturday with Drunk 3PO. Unless things change, we'll let you guys know. And go ahead and like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Thank you guys. I think there was about 20 people earlier, maybe a little bit more than that earlier. So thank you everyone who stayed. And thank you everyone. I know Krista Nova popped in earlier. Thank you so much for her popping by.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, but anyways, hope you guys have a fantastic day or night wherever you guys may be. And we'll see you guys next Saturday. See ya.
See ya.